you. Why are you standing there in plain sight? You need to hide. This place is not safe for the likes of you, especially after dark. Ah, I can see by your confused expression that you do not fully comprehend the danger you are in. Perhaps you thought to enter here and find some amusement. But you picked a poor night to come visiting, my friends. It was a night just like this that it happened. The man who lived here went stark raving mad. They say he dispatched his entire family. Sometimes you can still hear the faint echo of their screams in the dark. The spirit now haunts this place, looking for others to dispatch. He's out there, watching you from the shadows, creeping ever closer. Come here. You can hide with me. I'll keep you safe and sound.
Well, everybody, you know, I said finale last time we were together, but what I really meant was credits roll, and now we're going to do after the credits. I like doing these in general, and I like setting us up for the following season. And we are going to be doing another following season. It looks like June is going to be season 2 for ETHUANTIA Superstitions. But tonight, this is going to be a combination of a after the credits meets a little bit of like a rap show or a talk back. Everybody calls it something different. So the audience, get your questions ready. Same, obviously, to the cast here. If they didn't answer things during the season that you really want to know, and as long as it's not going to be a part of next season or it's lore that I'm willing to share, then sweet. We'll kind of go through questions. If we don't have too many, I have 2 that I definitely want to go over with the cast. And then we got some fun stuff we're doing for some after the credit background stuff. So this is like the finale's roll the credits. I guess is the best way to do it. So until next season, I guess let's run our intro one more time. Well, everybody, we this season went by really fast for me. I think for the cast as well. When I bring them on, they'll probably say very similar. My favorite overlays today. My favorite look for ETHUANTIA. I think this is finally the look that I have wanted for 13 years. This color green is like spot on the green. It represents the souls in the setting and all the fun stuff. But tonight I want to do something a little different. We've done a lot of seasons over the years I've been streaming. We've ended a shit ton of different things. From crazy, it was a brain dance on Norse Foundry to cutting it in the middle of, I think, near everyone's death during the first campaign at the top of a tree, pulling a fucking crowbar out for ETHUANTIA. Like, we've had a lot of crazy endings to shit. This one was honestly, the strongest, hardest open, like, oh, fucking what is going on with Darkest House? It's rotting from the inside out, and everything's escaping, and it's why there's cryptids in ETHUANTIA. If you hadn't figured that out, I'm just blatantly telling you what's going on. But we just kind of like ended it on a note that I wanted to end on so that we could do a different version of our talk back and cast party. So we've done it before, but I wanted to do this one in character instead of just being out of character. And the reason being is this is the first time that my cast as a whole have all given me, and they don't know each other's backgrounds, by the way, very detailed backgrounds on like family members with art and all this stuff. And I didn't use it during the season a ton, a little bit I did, because I had something planned. Yeah, I had a lot, like Todd said, enough to kill her. I had a lot planned, but it was around Todd's original character. Now, I never told Todd this, and this is my first secret for the show. I had planned the first season of Superstition through the eyes of his siren, like a gunslinger. I wanted to do like a Clint Eastwood style from the eyes of it. And Todd comes back and goes, I have this great idea for a character. You okay if I switch? And my brain went, God damn it. But I really like this character because they gave me a really good villain. Yeah, go right ahead. So tonight, this is Todd's fault. Hey, everybody.
I already feel guilty enough switching characters. Every time we do something in the show, I was like, I should have stayed the other character. He'd have the perfect responses. Or it would have worked out better. Or Eric's changed everything to ETHUANTIA 7. And it's like, oh, we're not really heroes like our last characters. We're more down to earth. I should have stayed with the other character. But now I really feel like shit.
Like, it wasn't to make you feel like shit. It was just the honest truth of what I'm doing for the show. So
Work's like, oh, I got to get to Cadril. See ya. And then 5 shows up.
Hey, man, if you need to get to Cadre, now's the time. Shit's about to get real. If you want to exit stage left, just don't get in the house. Go find an exit. Say, fuck this place. Fuck these bitches, I'm out. I really wanted to do kind of like an after the credits. A little different than what we normally do. We haven't done an after credits. I've done some like have a person stay on, close the show out that way. I do love the Marvel exit strategy, even though Marvel has failed me a lot lately. We'll get into that at a different time. So tonight, we left this off with Regder going through, using his ability, both him and Tillian, which no one knew about that, and not even Regder. Besides Georgia, no one knew Georgia had a kid.
Nope.
Boom, fell down, kind of faded into black nothingness, and then they came out in a black room with windows, and I gave Regder the best decision yet. Which pair of eyes are you going to come out of? AKA, who are you killing? So we're starting there.
Perfect.
I would like to know, out of those eyes, who are you killing, Regder?
I already told you. The one looking at the book about bringing back a keeper. The one in the library.
And you're sure about this?
I don't have it. Okay, what's the other one doing again?
No. I mean, I'm just asking if you're sure about it. That's fine. The other one's eating. It's the 2 hunters that you hired to help run the operation here. That are the people who know all about birds and fowl and stuff. And they're sitting across from each other at the dining room table eating. One is looking at the other one. You know it's them because you can hear their voice. This person is not talking. They're not even touching the book. They're just reading it on like a pulpit kind of thing. Like, you know, standing and reading it.
I'm gonna wait until they turn the page.
They don't. They turn on their own. No hand touches the book. And remember, it's a weird-looking grimoire. But a lot of things in your library are weird. That's not to say, like, they're bad guys. Your library is full of things on the fucking keeper of filth, undead, dwarven lineages. Like, your library is a fucking occult library. Like, Eric Mona would be proud.
Is anyone singing Father Figure?
No.
Okay.
That's a great inside joke. Thank you for that from me to you. Oh man, what a Dragon Con.
I mean, I don't want to come out of anyone's head.
That's not how this goes.
Yeah,
You
I know.
have to
He's
do it
figured
that way.
that. He's figured that out already.
Yeah.
Um,
I can tell you that you believe the reason his powers work that way is because he's not full-fledged, like a powerful keeper. You don't know much about whoever this is. But if he has to touch
still don't
someone
know
to
their name.
give them power, they're basically using that place as a source to let you exit. I think Defiler from Dark Sun. That would be a really good way to explain that, except killing people.
great.
Blood magic. With intellect powers. This music just knows.
Where are the other two eating?
At the main table in the back of the back of the lodge.
Can I see?
It's the woman
can I see
talking
any-
to the guy. You would be killing the wife. I'm just blatantly telling you what's going to happen. You know, you've done it enough now. You'd be killing
Yeah.
somebody.
Am I looking out? Like, are they
Out the
seated
back
so they're looking
window.
Out the window.
Yeah, they're sitting across from each other.
Is
They're
it day or night right now?
It is dinner time, so the shadow would already be fallen because it's underneath the cliff face on the backside. So that means that in the time that it took you to walk the house, decide what you're doing, almost 12 hours.
hours passed.
No, 12.
Oh,
you guys
12.
were doing that in the middle of the day, remember? You guys were searching everything in broad daylight. Yeah. May I ask how I know that? I keep a timeline on the left-hand side of all pages now because these questions get asked all of the time.
Eric, what does this fourth fingernail do?
You don't know. He didn't tell you, and you've never used it. And then I don't know if now's the time to test because you don't know what it does.
I'm going to.
The last couple times you knew, there was like a dream of you using it. You haven't slept yet.
that's. Can I make myself fall asleep?
You've never tried it inside of somebody else's head. You do have Tillian with you, but her knowledge is not in this. Her knowledge is in like the darkest house, and the Circle of Pines, and she knows a decent amount about working as a journeyer for Dulfok. And they're known as the Soul of Winter, that Wendigo that you guys were dealing with.
Killian,
Yes.
do you have any way of traveling
Butterflies.
from place to place?
Do I know how to what?
Do you know how to travel from place to place? Like,
Do you think I would have been trapped in that house if I had the ability to leave?
yeah, I'm only asking a question because things work differently in that house than they.
She's
do in
collecting her
places.
antlers off the ground and like breaking them up and putting them in her pockets.
I'm just asking because the only way that I know how
I
to
have
get
never
out of
trapped.
this room is through someone's skull.
I know that there are druids who can travel through trees by counting the
Aye.
circles. They will cut a limb from a tree, count the circles, and the circles determine distance and how far to another pine they can go. The older the tree, the further they can go. But this is not a tree. I don't know where we are. It's dark in here. This is like when I get locked in the closet in the house or in one of the hallways. Many of the hallways are very dark.
I'm gonna try just to see because I don't know what it does yet. I'm gonna take this new nail. I'm gonna try and carve a door on the floor.
There's a scream from the other person. It is a young,
Person.
the person you're inside of. It is a young, because you looked through the older people. It wouldn't be young. The old woman's voice, you would hear a scream. Sorry, because you're in the old person. Because they're elders. They're like in their 50s, pushing 60s hunters. I
Well,
forgot
so
their
it's
old-
either the wife or this other person looking at the.
Yeah, there's the other person. You could swap back to the person. You blink your eyes, you can switch to somebody else.
Yeah, I switched to somebody else.
If you do it to that one, there's a young scream, female, and then you hear a hiss afterwards.
Like it's the mayor?
No, young. Like pre-20 for a human.
Young and a hiss.
There's no one that you know that's young that works in the hunters that are hired, so fuck, who knows?
Yeah. Think
She goes, if I had a choice, knowing what I know about travel, if you have a way out of here, I would prefer taking it than standing in darkness. I can see out. I have no idea what's going on. It looks like two windows. It is very weird.
Hey. At 8. Yep, same answer, the one in the library.
Excellent. You can tell Diana you killed her character.
Okay.
As there's an explosion and covers the book in blood, on the ground is a girl dressed in like the same exact outfit as the doll that Tillian is carrying.
Uh-huh.
She looks at her, looks at you. What did you just do?
I told you we were coming out through somebody's skull.
But
I thought she was a ghost.
that's Adam's character.
I thought they were both ghosts.
No.
No.
Well, they are now.
And you notice her doll's head starts to unravel.
That's how she was talking.
Well,
I will go back to the people who step out of the elevator because I need you to decide what you would like to use for your initiative. I thought there would be no combat tonight. Let me know what you would like to use, or if you have a way out of this you think is smart, or you're just running through the house to the mayor. But we're going to need initiative because she's not happy. But that's okay. We have a lot of other people here. Drew, good job. Feel free to text Diana.
I'll let her find out.
How can I kill Diana? They weren't both Ghost Star, Drew. Only one was Ghost. Adam's character was Ghost. She was a fucking vampire.
Yeah.
I thought she was a vampire ghost. Like, I
No.
thought that she was... I didn't think she was real. I didn't think
Yes.
she was...
No, she was real because
She's
I
real.
helped.
She's
feed her.
creepy and was stalking around the house. Adam was a ghost.
She was a baby Dracula.
She's a baby Dracula. She was a kid Dracula.
There's a video. There's a movie coming out about her.
It's okay.
Oh, Abigail.
It's okay. You just killed another horrible thing. It's just in the line of your
Monster
keeper.
hunting.
Your keeper. Yeah. Hey, there are monster parts on the ground. Ba-doom.
It's probably some of my hands.
So, back in the elevator, you guys got out of the elevator and you asked to go to the gallery, correct? Maria, you had asked me a private message before. Can I get, what, I don't really know if a skill would work for this, is the kind of credits roll and it shows Diana's name playing, was it Clem and Clara? And then it puts a line through fucking Clara. And then it cuts to the elevator door opening. What, do you have a skill you would like to use for that? Do you think it'd just be an int check?
Either int or like.
Because I know there's feats for it, but that's to like perfectly do it.
Yeah, I think.
Or craft?
Yeah,
Probably
I had
craft.
suggested either int or craft.
Yeah, I'd say craft is good.
Okay.
Drew Starter's like, I'm telling Diana now. Hey, Tattletale, you do what you want to do.
That's an 18.
Do you want to spend any points? Again, DCs are 15, 18, 20 for most skill DCs for easy, medium, hard. Average DC is 19 at this level.
That was an 8 on the die, so.
I mean, not the best. I can look at
Right.
cards. I don't really think we have anything that can help with this.
I don't think so either.
There's a crit. You can. Oh no, it would be a hit into a crit. You'd have to have a hit first, which may not be bad to do in this situation, to be honest with you. You want to patch it? Start with a patch? Or a superstition? I mean, we are in the darkest house. I'm all about superstitions.
Let's see.
End this season on a new superstition. Just in case no one saw this shirt for today. This is critical failure with a 1 there. Just wanted to. I'm trying.
Yourself.
I'm trying to get my digidice to do what I say instead of rolling fucking perfect 10d6s.
I'm so pissed she doesn't have her digidice yet. Oh my god.
I am bullying my digidice right now. You want to spend your patch or do you want to do a superstition? What would you like to do, Maria? This is kind of important. This is a very smart play, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I think this. Let me know if this will fly. Otherwise, I'll use a patch.
That's what I'm here for.
The child was like talking about the mother and the father, and I'm flashing back to when I had my first experience in the house, where I was seeing flashbacks of my past.
Yeah.
And as this happens, like I had that Everlight crystal, and like I can't really snuff it, but I have a superstition called snuff the lights out when your mother's coming.
Goddamn Faye. You guys get taught really horribly.
Yeah.
All right.
So I hide the crystal in a very heavy dark bag so no light can get out.
Stuff the light when mother is coming. I am fine with that. Are you going to do that and like close your eyes and try to memorize it and open them and do it again? All right.
Yes.
All right. So I'll mark it and I'll say it's a new superstition. I'll put Maria's name next to it.
And that was worth it because that's a 24.
Yes, you think you have a pretty good visual. You will have to study the rhyme or reason on how they have it, like why it works. But you do have a good mental image that you can go home, make a craft check on, and try to draw it out.
Okay.
Or put it in your book or whatever you want. So let me pull up the elevator image here as he pings you to the level. Here's your elevator. Ping! And he opens it up. And remember, if all of you don't remember the creepy guy who let you out, he is this guy. He's in your things as brother. Creepy button-up shirt. His silhouette has an axe. It kind of drags. Once in a while, you feel like you can hear it, even though it's a shadow. And when he opens it, the shadow like goes out onto the floor in front of him, like wide stance, and kind of up the other wall as you guys appear into the stairs, into the gallery. You don't see the curator anywhere. But there are a bunch of pictures on display in the middle of the floor. Specifically, there are 5 of them. And I'll take us to the gallery. And remember, these darkest house rooms are just boxes in red. Oh, I just realized.
Just message Diana on Discord.
You're such a dick.
Hi, hello, how are you? Good. I regret to inform you I just inadvertently killed your vampire. Sorry.
Have a nice
bye.
Also, we would like to ask about your car's extended warranty.
Jesus Christ. I'll put this darkest house down here. All right.
Are you up to date on your unlife insurance?
Your unlife insurance. Are you mid-transition? Are you updated on your unlife insurance? So here you go. Everybody, you would be coming out into the room. I'll put your characters here just so we have them. I don't know how pertinent it will be for them to be here. Drew, for some reason, says you're not logged in, but I'll put you at the top in case we need you later. And alchemy.
Oh, alchemy?
Yeah.
Yeah. It says you're offline.
Hang on.
It might have timed out on you. They do that. They do be doing that.
It'd be like that.
There you go.
There we go.
As you walk in that
timed out
center carpet, in that center carpet area, There are 5 paintings in a circle. They're facing outward. There is a gap to walk in the middle, but the inside is like looking at the back of the easels on display. There are paints all over the rug in this floor, but this rug is just destroyed and ancient. It may have been beautiful at one point in time, but it's not anymore. The door closes behind you, and you hear the ding of the elevator as you're guessing the elevator goes somewhere else. Remember, that area you came in last time was not a fucking elevator.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we cut back to Drew, what he's going to do, what would the party like to do in this room? You don't see the curator anywhere. All the other paintings are covered on the walls. And all the ones that are on display are also covered. They're in like red velvet cloths that are kind of draped over them.
Okay. I think Georgia would want to kind of sweep the room a little bit. This area right here, remind us, is that a doorway right there?
On the far side over here, the white piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a door.
That's where the curator was last time, right? Okay.
Curator's in this room usually.
Okay.
That door leads out to the courtyard. That you came, the one you came from, this leads to the courtyard. This one leads back to that T-shaped hallway.
Gotcha.
With the circle rug in the center and another door that you've never went in as a party.
Well, George is just going to go, like, walk over to take a look. Like, not too close because this house is terrifying.
Which picture do you want to look at? One is the first one, as you come in here, and in a clockwise, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 ends up over here. The gap to walk through is about where you're standing, to go in behind the paintings.
Okay, I see. Georgia, I think, is first just kind of peeking through that door since the elevator wasn't there last time. I'm just seeing if that's the same.
If what's the same? Door?
If that hallway looks the same.
It's closed, unless you want to go open that door.
Oh, it's closed.
All doors are closed.
Okay, but are there any signs that say, like, what time the gallery would be open?
There is nothing. There's no like little note. There is a little table like between the door that goes out into the T-shaped hallway. In between there and the set of paintings, about like right here in the middle of the floor, there is a small table that has an ashtray and a long holder for a cigarette on a holder and a burning cigarette. But she's not here.
Okay. Does the cigarette look like it's been burning for a while, or?
It's about a quarter of the way down. Recently left.
Quarter of the way down. Okay. Georgia's gonna kind of motion to it and be like, "It looks like we may have just missed her."
I'm sorry, Eric. Did you say I'm having issues with alchemy right now? Did you say there's like a little like note on the table with the
note? She asked for a note. I said there's no notes.
Okay. I am going to look around at the paintings. I know that they're covered up right now.
Yep.
But I'm gonna do a slow roll and use Arcane Sense.
Okay.
To see if any of them are magical.
All of them.
All of them are magical. Okay. What about the paintings that are not currently a part of this circular exhibit?
Unless you take the, just like before, unless you take the covers off of them, the magic doesn't seem to protrude from the way they're wrapped. You'd have to like unwrap them. They're tucked behind the painting, not just draped.
Okay.
They're like wrapped to sell, I guess is the best way to say it. Like they are wrapped to sell. These are just draped over. You can kind of see magic flowing out of the back of them.
Okay. So then I share that, like, well, because they aren't wrapped for transport, there is some magical emanations coming from these pictures, these paintings.
Wilcuff goes, look, I don't know much about this room. I didn't leave the one that I was in until you got me. But if that was burning, We're seeing a bunch of the people who live here fleeing the house. You think the curator left?
Yeah, normally you don't put down a cigarette to go outside.
I don't smoke, so...
I mean, but if they were running, normally, if they were in a hurry, they would just drop the cigarette.
As opposed
Yeah.
to setting it
Or,
down
or,
in
they,
the
or
ashtray.
they bring it with
Put
them.
it out. Or they put it out.
Yeah.
Look, I don't really like any of this, to be honest with you. I don't understand it. But, do you think we should, look at the stuff? Because we're not supposed to leave the room. We're waiting for Regder.
Yeah, we're waiting for Regder. I mean,
Do we look around, or do we wait till he gets here before we do anything?
I never entered this room when I first came through here. It was a pretty fast rush, and my group and I were split up pretty quick, so I didn't have time to sightsee. Was any of this here when any of you were here in this room last? If you were here at all, I mean.
I mean, I'm gonna, Eric, like, while I'm looking around, I'm gonna see if I can find the portrait that I did.
Yeah, yours is up on one of the walls, but it is wrapped.
Okay. I just want to know where it is. in
Yeah,
case
you like
we-
peel the cover off, you recognize the frame in yours. It's over there.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually, it's not hanging. Yours is on the ground, if I remember correctly, next to a hanging picture. Because you
Okay.
painted yours and set yours down like with the gallery.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's there still.
Okay.
I-
I nod. I'm like, all right, good. I turn to the group and I say, well, my painting is still here.
You have a painting here?
Good.
He says.
Yeah, the one time that I was in the house, she had asked if any of us were crafters and if they wanted to paint something, so I painted a picture for the gallery.
And you said yes to something here?
It is possibly a way for us to get out. That's one of the reasons I wanted
Oh.
us to meet Regder here.
Oh, well, never mind then. I'm not going to say what I was about to say. I was about to get real sassy with you.
I mean, you can still be sassy, but it was the best thing I could think of at the time. So
I mean, no. Yeah, you are. I am wrong, he says. I am wrong. Yeah, happily wrong. Thank you for making exit strategy. How many people can leave with you? Can all of us leave with you if Regder doesn't make it? I have a feeling Regder's not going to make it. You saw how he left, right?
I did see how he left. We'll have to figure that out when it comes to it.
I don't like any of this. All right, so are we looking
I
at these
know.
paintings, or are we sitting and waiting? There ain't no chairs in this room.
While this conversation's been going on, Georgia has like pulled out a bottle of this salve and like uncorked it and smothered what looks like almost like a thick mud onto her hands.
Okay.
And she starts focusing, and I'm gonna ready dispel magic. And Georgia says, "All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at one of these."
You want to do this before Regder's here? Before you take your mud bath, you want to... All right, I'll tell you what.
I
I'll do
mean-
it from a distance. And he like detaches his arm. He's like, which one?
It's up to you. I figure we need to pass the time some way. Some
1 through
might be
5.
Inspiring.
Are they all the same size,
No.
relatively speaking?
Now they're
Okay.
a whole bunch of different size. Nothing here is the same size.
Well,
They're like, some are vertical,
yeah.
some are horizontal, some are really big, some are, the smallest one's probably like 23 by 36. That's probably the smallest painting.
okay. I was just wondering, like, in case there's any rhyme or reason to how these were set up in the center. I know there probably isn't, but just in case, like, if there's like a theme to the.
There's no 1d5
exhibit.
dice. Sorry, Star Drew.
I mean, if there's no theme to the exhibit, then I guess we can.
He says,
Maybe-
well, the woman, I doubt there is one. You're saying there's someone
Well,
who runs this
I'm-
show.
I'm wondering, since they're magical, I'm sure partially it's the paint and the portrait itself.
Can we
that-
call for her? Does she just show up? Is she like your parents? You know what I mean? Like you yell for your mom and dad and they show up in the house?
Mm. I mean, we could try and call for her, but if that doesn't work, then I wonder if maybe taking one of these off the...
I just feel like she should do it. She's gonna know better than us. I just feel like we're touching shit we don't understand.
I will clear my throat and call for the curator and see if
all right, as you
might be back.
As you yell for the curator, hey Drew, who are you yelling for? That's the woman pulls the blade out. She goes, you just killed, and she starts speaking in a language you don't understand.
Whoa. Hold on.
She's holding the doll in one hand and the fucking sword in the other.
Point to the doll. I point to the person. Like,
yes, there's she in Elven. Do you understand Elven?
No.
In Elven, she starts yelling at you. You've heard from your old Elven friend, Cillian, swearing at Elven with you. You know she's cursing you out right now.
You and me?
You got to do something better than this, man.
And I point to the pommel of the dagger. Like I'm gonna go look for a way out.
She cocks way back. And she's shaking the fucking headless doll at you. Now blood's coming out of the doll.
That's gross. I'm gonna make a craft roll.
Okay.
To see if I can repair it. The doll.
Okay. I know. I see what you're saying. You can try. We'll use it as your initiative.
19 on the die is 26.
With time, anything can be fixed. It's a fucking doll. Could you make it exactly the same? That's different. You know, you don't really have the reference material anymore.
That's fair.
You blew your blueprint's head up.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe could, but not easily. What would you like to do?
This is my niece. I just met her. I'm not.
Yeah, I know. It was a great first impression. Second impression,
wanna fight her.
technically.
Excuse me.
Are you yelling for anyone in the house?
What the hell's the mayor's name?
Oh, that's a really good question. I know it.
It's just the mayor.
Nope, it is not.
Her last name is Hithersworn. I haven't had a whole lot of interaction with her. That's the problem.
No, but I have. I see Kelly going, damn it, fucking, you know what it is. You did have you actually had a long interaction with her. You talked with her on the couch when she showed up. That is not true. You had a pretty good interaction with her. I know.
Wilcoff's not there. Arden's not there.
I mean, there are other hunters, but none of your major peeps. And you would hear cooking, and people, you would hear a lot more noise than you did before, because remember, all the hunters are cooking and getting ready to have a big dinner. So, like, there's people in the dining room, or in the kitchen.
There's not gonna be anybody that's gonna be able to communicate.
Next to you is the billiards room. You can run. You can tackle her, grapple her, and hold her down. You can make a persuasion roll. You beat me in initiative.
What is that? Society?
Persuasion?
Yeah.
No, it's persuasion.
There is no persuasion. There's performance. There's nothing else with a P in this game.
Persuasion falls under diplomacy. It's just an action that you can do under diplomacy. Sorry. It's not a skill called persuasion.
I mean, this is gonna be a straight up die roll, but I mean that is what I would use because I'm trying not to murder. I'm trying not to intimidate. So
yeah, no.
4.
I mean, do you want to spend a patch? It's your first of 3 actions.
I can't communicate with her, so it doesn't matter.
She understands Dwarven. She's just not speaking in Dwarven because she's angry.
She does understand Dwarven?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
I thought she was only speaking Cadraic with the doll.
Correct. She is the daughter of a dwarf who was raised.
Does she know that?
Yes, she does.
Okay. Well then, yeah, I'm gonna talk to her in.
She just wasn't around Georgia much.
Yeah. Apparently.
Georgia was vacant.
This is important. I'll spend a patch for this.
Okay. And you don't sound happy, or you don't sound.
It's better than a 4.
She cocks back hard. You have 2 actions left. You can see the intent, even with the moths floating out. They're a little more faint now that you're here, and it's now dulling down to like a blue glow. Her intent is harmful. She is angry.
Yeah.
She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know the house. You're welcome to run. You try to grapple her. You don't know anything about her, how strong she is, what she could do. You know nothing. It's like someone kept it from you.
You know, shit. We're going to... Let's see here. I'm still on the map in the hallway if you changed it.
Nope, I did not move it.
Okay. Do we keep the keys and the doors in this place?
No, there's no lie. Actually, the keys would be, there'd be a set with your carpenter, and there'd probably be a set hanging somewhere besides the key to wherever your room is, and the key to the front door. You guys would probably have a copy in the party.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're probably like hanging by the entrance or hanging in the kitchen, because that's usually where you keep that stuff, somewhere near an entrance to get them to go through the house. Like, that's what you would do back then. You only kept them in the door when you trust people, but you have random hunters that come through here and shit, so you're not going to do that.
Okay. I'm going to... There's only one door into this room, right? It's the library.
Yeah, I mean, I can take you there if you want to see it. Hold on. I'll happily move you to it. It is dark out, so I'll keep the nighttime one on. Hey, look, Regder, I already have you on the map. It's like I knew this would go poorly. There you go. Actually, I'll do the lit one to make it just a little bit easier to see.
I mean, I can see fine.
There you go. I meant for the audience more than... Well, the audience can't even see it right now. But they can. They can with a simple change.
All right. I'm going to use an action to go through this door.
Mm-hmm. It's unlocked.
Close it behind me.
Okay. There is a hunter playing pool by himself in the room, and there is another hunter who is here smoking a pipe and staring at the fireplace. Because it's nighttime and everyone's eating, getting ready for dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through and try and lock her in.
Yeah, okay, so you shut the door. The lock is on both sides of these kind of doors, right? But you need a key to unlock them, but you can turn it if you want and lock it. You just can't manually unlock it. It's one of those ones you turn it and just it goes back, like the old skeleton key doors. Or you'd lock it and it go pink and just turn back.
Well, Victorian times, you would need a key to lock it or unlock it. Like, there's no...
No, that is not true, because I lived in a house that had these keys. You had to have a key to unlock the doors. You could lock them by hand. This specific door because it's the library.
Okay, then yeah, I'll lock her in. Be like, don't open this door.
She charges the door, pounds on it, and you hear a thunk. The hunter playing pool stops and goes, Richter! Oh, hey, dinner's done. Where have you all been?
Do not open this door. Do you understand?
Look, I don't really read, so you don't have to worry about that too much. I don't know what you're doing in there.
Just don't open it. And I'm going to take a chair and put it up against the edge.
It opens into the library, not into your room.
Oh, okay. Don't open this door. And that's going to be the end of my turn.
Do you want me to watch it or something, man? Like, is something trapped in there? Do I need the rest of the hunters? And now the guy in the chair who's smoking the pipe, like, stops, and he stands up and kind of leans over the chair. He's like, what is going on, man?
It's like, long story short, we came in through another way back into the lodge. There's someone with me. She is upset right now. Not good upset, bad upset. Like, if there is a level of upset, she's all the way on the other way.
There is no such thing as good upset. I don't know who taught you that there is.
You need to know my family. Anyway,
oh,
my sister will take care of this.
You hear another thunk on the door.
I hope. Where is our tall veiled friend?
Lemaire. Oh,
Lemaire,
she's in the dining room, I believe.
Perfect, thank you. And he makes his way there.
Okay. So you walk across to the dining hall, pick the door you want to go in. She is in the room, and I am going to cut us back to our party. I'll leave you on cam, though, because your expression for what's about to happen is probably going to be pretty good.
Great.
So I'll switch us back to our other area. As the snow has gone now in this area. It's still snowing on this one, but it's not snowing here anymore. It's spring, everybody. I guess I should turn on a leaf one here. I didn't even think about it. But here in this realm of shadow, on the blood red night, inside of the gallery, they're gonna open one of the portraits, and I'm gonna turn my fan on because it's fucking hot. I'm dying. Should have turned that on earlier. I was like, why is there no breeze in this bitch? So what pictures the group decided on they're gonna do? 1 through 5. And put yourselves in the room where you want to be. He's gonna pull from back here behind the little table. He's gonna watch the other door in case anything comes through. The goat.
I thought that the goat didn't come with us. I thought that was partially what Richter was.
Oh, you're
back
right.
for.
He's not here. You are correct. I apologize. I apologize. Okay. Wilcuff is here. Your goat is not here. Your goat is back at the lodge because he's sleeping in the room at the back of the house.
Right. Because he couldn't get into the other area.
Mm-hmm,
I'm gonna be like here, I guess, like in case anything weird happens.
All right, Burke. What about you?
Lash out with my whip.
Burke, as always, when he enters a doorway, looks up to the ceiling above him just in case, and he's gonna hang close over here just to kind of see what people are doing, but also keep an eye on this door we just came through.
Okay.
Because we didn't technically come through it, so there might be somebody on the other side.
So Wilcuff looks to Georgia and goes, "Which one?" And he like pulls his hand off and tosses it. And you see the strings appear here brightly.
George is going to kind of nod to the smallest one.
So number 2 is the smaller one.
Yes, number 2.
The second one, I should say. The second one. All right. With that, he reaches over and pulls it off, and as he kind of pulls the fabric off from behind the painting, the curator appears out of like nowhere.
Oh.
So I'm like, curator, when is the gallery open? And then they're like, and she's like,
oh, I'm so sorry. I have been traveling back and forth through the rooms, readying the gala, but all of my guests have been fleeing the home. But it's nice to see. I recognize some of you. Burke! Oh, I've heard so much about you. One of your friends was here for a portrait just a few weeks ago.
One of my people?
Oh yes, yes.
Oh.
They had us paint a very grotesque picture of a fountain. It's this painting over here. She turns and taps the fourth one. But the painting you've uncovered right now, would you like to hear about it or examine it yourself, and then I can give you the details after you've taken it in?
I'm going to move to that painting you described.
Be here, roughly, because the fifth one's at the back.
Yeah. And I'm just going to take the cloth off because I need to see this right now.
Okay.
I was gonna ask the curator to tell me about it because I know that she likes talking about the work, but
Let me get you some grave lighter tokens here. We'll just kind of use these to mark the paintings to make things a little easier. So we're gonna do.
Drew can't be the only one initiating combat tonight.
It's true. It's true. Let me pull this up, and I will put these in place for the paintings. So 1. Well, that's actually 4. This is 5. The curator is here. This is 1, 2, like that. And she's talking about this one for you. She goes to talk about the painting. She's like, my, the painting here, and she stops. She goes, "Excuse me," and she puts her hand over the painting. "One at a time, sir, unless you want me to unveil all of them and you would like to take them all in. Mr. Burke,
Fine.
do you want me to uncover them all? Do you want to look at all of them right now, and I can
No.
give you a moment in the room?"
Proceed.
So she takes her hand off it, and I will start with this one for the flashback. So, Burke, you have a pretty long... Well, actually, this might be the most extensive background you have made for a character in a long time. Long time. And
I was
on
inspired.
this one is a grotesque painting of humans with water pouring through them.
Yep.
There are 3 of them together. Their heads are up like fountains almost. Their hands are holding bowls, and the water is flowing through them and into the bowls. You recognize this, I'm assuming.
I do.
So I'm going to tell you how the game plays tonight, since you're the first one. You can either take...
Great.
I need the audience to roll me 10d6. And I need you to make me a will save. Don't tell anybody what you get right away. And emotional heal cards are going to be very important tonight.
My bottom 3 saves.
Todd's like, what superstition do I need? Because that fucking sucked.
No, I'm straight up spending a patch.
Oh, you're spending a patch. Okay, you went and grab it. All right. All right. Go ahead and reroll. I'll mark your patch for you. What's that? 10d6.
I'll take 1d10 over 10d6.
Only if I'm multiplying by 10.
Oh, please don't.
10d6. All those emotional heal cards are coming out when I said they're going to be important. Oh, okay. Hold on here. I got you. I got you. Well, I'll continue the conversation while I fix Stream Elements dice bot. We might not have one for the show. I think we had it for the Twitch one, but all the YouTube codes are separate. I had to make all new ones. You don't get to be special. Let me take my dashboard. So you know what this is. Would you like to explain to people what it is, or mostly for the audience? But I will tell you that the failed save means you will take half damage if you fail. Even on success, your character describes what it is as if they are explaining how they feel about the painting. Like what it's from, in your past, that kind of stuff. On a critical success, you can stay silent. With
Well-
that, I need to know what your save was, good sir.
Well, the first roll was a nat 1, so to avoid a crit failure, I spent the patch and re-rolled. But my total now is only 15.
Unfortunately, that is still a failure. So you'll be taking the damage when we get it fixed. Would you like to tell the party? I'll bring us back to the full screen here, and you can tell the party what this scene is from. Because I think you know which one it is from your background, right? That's pretty explanatory. Okay. And I will say the person who made this is in the background, but his back is to the party. There's no picture of their face. Okay. He is in front of the fountain, looking at the fountain. And she said this was painted here.
Okay, so Burke's kind of mesmerized by the painting, and he's like, well, this really kind of takes me back. I was on a team that was trying to harness primal energies through the ley lines in order to manufacture war materials for the Ghoul Wars. We would be able to magically create supplies on demand in the field with these machines. And there was an accident on the airship that we used to conduct these experiments. And we were all hurtled into what we now know as the Never Never. And that explosion, that eruption of energies, the going to the Never Never, whatever it was that happened, kind of changed all of us physically. I used to be a scrawny little locksmith. Now I'm this, well, you know, Burke, he's like circus strongman kind of build. And
Curator asked,
while we
what's the
struggle
water? She asked you, what is the water that is so important? What does it do?
I think the experiments we were doing, the pulling the energies from wherever they were coming from, was imbued into all of us. Some with fire. I'll like do a little flame in my hand for a bit. Some with wood. Some with air. And a rare few with water.
Oh, well, it'd be very prized abilities here in Cadra and in Moldavia. Like, the idea of Ingrad having water being made by people besides the true faith would be quite important.
Fortunately, survival there where we were stuck was very difficult, and a lot of us didn't make it.
That is a shame.
But there was one amongst us who was faithful, true and through to the true faith, and felt that even though our work was lost, as we were lost, we could still benefit from what we've discovered and how we were changed. And those of us that had passed, we thought were buried and gone. Because, reminder, this is during the Ghoul Wars. This is pre-veteran.
Yeah, for people who don't know, we're in 63 AS. The Ghoul Wars were 40-something years ago, right? 30-something years ago? Without me pulling up
16 AS, I think.
Yeah, 16 AS after the Sundering, yeah. So a while,
yeah. Sorry, Drew, you're muted.
Yeah, because there was 7 years of darkness, like right after the Sundering happened.
Yeah, I'd have to pull up the timeline, but yeah. I added
so,
to it.
Happened. I thought the Ghoul Wars happened in the darkness. That's why
started in it.
Oh, how long
Started
did it
like
last?
13 or 14 AS. They started in like 16. There was a turn, and I think 17 or 18. They finally got a cap on it.
No, Drew, what happened is there was no tides that washed in, or sorry, there was nothing to stop the tides from washing in and stopping them in Eisenheim at the time. So they were fighting in the tides, not during the years of darkness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know how to control them yet. So it all started in the darkness. That's true, Allie.
So there's one amongst us. He was a cleric of the True Faith. His name was.
Oh, a good person.
You would think. His name was Munson, and he was convinced that our abilities could still
He's here.
benefit. I assume so because of the painting.
Yes, he asked me to paint this piece. He said he did not want to forget his memory of some of the things while he said he was away were fading, and he comes here when he feels a memory fading, and we paint it for him. Most of the painting on the walls in here are his. Not all of these, though. These are new. That's why we're showcasing them. With that, there is a blast of emotional pain as it surges back. It's 43 psychic damage. You can use emotional heal cards to stop some of it. I'm not going to say how many emotional heal cards we have. Please don't look them up if you're in the cast. How many would you like to use to heal? I'm not going to give you a cap.
I don't know. It sounds like I'm the first of many that are going to go through this tonight, so
Maybe.
I don't want to burn them all.
Maybe. Maybe not. Some people might make their saves. It may not be the third best save.
What does a single card do?
One
What's the
hit point.
one hit point?
One emotional hit point.
Give me 4.
Okay.
Just
You're still standing after
to-
that?
Fight this back. I am.
Does it tap your stamina into your health?
It does. Quite a bit.
When that happens, the oils off of the painting start to run onto the floor. And in front of you, it starts rebuilding the fountain. Like painting it in front of you. With that said, I'm going to go back to Drew. And then we're going to go to the other painting that was opened. Hey, Drew! Drew! Buddy! Pal! So, what would you like to do? You run towards the library, or not library, sorry, the dining hall. Open it up. In there, she is by herself with a bunch of books. That's all that seems to be in here. There's no like extra people. Looks like dinner's over. All the food has been pushed to the far end of the table from her. And she doesn't look up. She just says, come in, take a seat if you want. I'm just working. Doesn't even like look up at who's here.
Mistress Mayor, Narcissa, right? I'm sorry, Narcissa. I need your help.
She doesn't have her veil on either, so it's just the mask right now because it's nighttime.
I need to go to the house.
Oh, well, I don't really have a ton of time right this moment. Can we do it tomorrow?
No, they're trapped there. I need to go to the house to bring them out.
Why are they in the house?
The house is... We got drawn in when we tried to come in here, and it pulled us in.
She
There's a lot
shuts.
going on.
She starts shutting books as you're talking.
But from the look of it, the house is under attack. It is rotting away in the plane of in between.
In the realm of shadows. And is rotting.
Yes, it's... We think that there's a whole lot of travel coming in and out. I brought one of them here.
She starts pushing in the chairs and making her way over. Well, I guess to the basement we go. And as she says that, moths start smashing against the rear windows of the lodge. Just like you're driving a car. And they cover it.
That can't be good.
She goes, so am I going to be safe if I have to concentrate on this ritual to open the door so you can get in and out? Or am I going to be in danger? Because if I'm going to be in danger, we're going to have to wait.
I don't know.
What is this?
There's moths coming out of my niece that came back.
You brought a niece? From where?
From there. She was stuck in the house.
You brought something back from the house that wasn't one of your own people?
No, she is one of my own people, apparently.
You
It's
can
my
prove
niece.
it. You know that is true.
I know it as well as I can.
That means you don't know anything. Fine. Let's go. And she starts heading towards the kitchen. Let's remember her entrance is back in the back corner of the kitchen. She gets to here, and you see one of the hunters get flung out of the billiard room into the main hall with the blade stuck through their chest.
Apparently, my niece came through the door.
Take care of your niece, and we'll go get the ritual started. You bring her with you, and we shove her back.
I brought her out to get her out of the house. She's not supposed to be there.
She showed her citizens supposed to be killing everybody who's here at the house. You're making it very difficult. These people are good people, and you're murdering them. By bringing her here, you brought a creature from the house into the material.
Well, it's not the first time.
Well, then chain your niece up. And she starts heading back towards the back room to go down into the basement.
I am going to...
Just like the music knows again.
Yeah. I'm going to do a catch stratagem.
Okay.
And
By
I'm gonna
yourself.
And I'm going to put a
I like it.
fire moth cocoon trap here in front of me.
Isn't it 3 actions?
Yep.
All right. Catch. Catch stratagem it is. That is 4, 8, 12. Remember, any checks count. That means even talking to her would count if you want to talk your way through and get your victory points. Mm-hmm. And we have victory point cards you can play to... you can only do one. Would you like to use a victory point card to kick this off, like, right away?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, we'll use Serving Hands victory point card. That is going to immediately give you 2 towards the challenge. You can do 1 per play, like per challenge, so you got 1 victory point challenge. I'll mark 2 for you right now. So you move, you throw your 3 actions, you see her, and she moves into the room, grabs the billiard stick from the ground, and sees you, and you see the other hunter charge her, and she simply goes like this off, like through the door frame, and lets go of the stick, and the stick is still here. And she steps around it as the stick falls, and it just kind of stays on an angle as the head slides into frame, as the cue is through his throat. She goes, in Dwarven this time, with an elven accent, she says, "You will watch everyone here die, just like I did." There is a amount of rage in her that seems unnaturally high.
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a religion from you or an occult?
I don't have either of them. But,
That's your problem.
We'll do religion.
All right.
Holy fuck. Nat 20. So that's a 22 wisdom.
This seems very similar to an angry spirit. She's materialized. Who knows? So, with that, you set your trap. I'm going to give you 3 actions.
Your name is Tillian Barrack.
And what would you like to use for your skill roll as you're telling her what her name is? Oh, I should put up the capture thing so the audience can see, because I don't think everybody knows exactly how they work. So we named it tactics in here. I really need to change it.
I think I'm going to do nature.
Telling her name?
Because here's why. The moths are coming out of her. Like, she was bound to this, she's a daughter of Dracoth. So she's a nature spirit. I'm trying to pull her humanity, if you will, and separate it from the nature. So I'm trying to use it to, like, circumvent. I have nothing for diplomacy. I have no lores to speak about except for tanning.
Her name wouldn't have anything to do with nature, but if you were to talk to her as if Dracoth wouldn't want this, or the Druid Circle wouldn't want this, and you could recant things that her mother would have told her that you didn't know was her mother for the longest time, that would make sense. But it wouldn't make sense for spirits because natures and spirits, while it exists, it's not the same as
that's fair.
feathering. Unless it's an animal or a beast spirit, then I would say yes. That is not the case.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it's not because.
But I get what you're going with. Give me a roll.
Yeah, I'll do nature.
Give me a roll
to recant stuff that Georgia would have said.
So crits are 2 points. You are at 2 of 4 for the first thing. On the screen we right have for capture or kill. If you get capture, it's half move for 1 round, allowing you to kind of position them, do the kind of stuff. If you get 8, forcing corner, they get a -2 to their AC. And then if you get to 12, you can get a +2 to your capture DC, and we have extra cards for capture DC. But 12's a lot.
So I'm at 4 now?
Yep. If you get a crit, you're at 2 right now.
Well, I just rolled a nat 20 for the religion check.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. Yes. One of your actions would do that. What would you like to do for your other 2 actions? You can't get any more points.
Well, this will be the nature.
Okay. You might be able to calm her down.
That's a 6 on the die, so 14.
She would say, first you would hear, I don't understand why you would mention my mother or the Circle of Pine when this is about vengeance for Dracoth and for you killing one of his.
Bring out your dead.
But Dracoth, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what she says.
And I feel sorry for you.
Last action. I will put a token for your trap. You wanted it here in the door?
I was actually going to put it right in front of me, between me and the door.
This is a better bottleneck, though.
It's true, but that's why I'm standing where I'm standing.
All right. We'll see. Is it hidden? Because I don't think they're hidden.
No, it's not. And
she would have to walk through that room or bust out a window. And you can see the moths just hitting the outside as well, the windows in the billiard room. That's what I'm saying. If you want to hear, she has to go through it.
Yeah, okay. I guess you're right.
This makes more sense. Until they fix traps. I think they should be 10 by 10 squares, personally. Anyway. So what do you want for your last action before I cut back to the next painting?
I'm going to light my war lantern.
Okay, you cast light. You light the war lantern. In the room she's in, you see a bunch of shadows moving around behind her. First, you think it's the fluttering of the moths, but you're pretty sure there's something else in that room.
Okay, well, I'm not casting a spell.
No, I mean just light. There's no light in that room besides a fireplace on the opposite side, but now it's bright with a war lantern. You can see there's some other shadows in that room. And with that, we're going to go back to the rest of the party. So, as that happens and the group sees this fountain getting painted in front of them, and he's like, probably, I would say, Todd, would you say that Burke is bleeding out of like his eyes, his nose, his ears? Is that kind of for psychic damage where it's coming from?
I would say, for sure.
The curator
is no joke.
Yeah, the curator says, that is quite the effective piece of art. I've not seen someone cry in blood before from art. Your friend is truly a master. And she turns to the other painting. Wilcuff looks at George and goes, I think we made a mistake. Like, as he pulls the painting piece off. Number 2. This is going to be different. On it, there's a painting of a gentleman in a red coat. He's carrying a dagger and a sword. He kind of has his hands on his hips holding them. Bearded, a very pale face with like a scars down the nose on the cheeks from years of combat. But while the painting is primarily monochromatic, there are glowing, bright green circles around the iris. Anyone who's part of ETHUANTIA knows that what has been depicted is some form of an abandoned. But no one seems drawn to the picture. And she goes, "Oh, that is a shame. I thought for sure this would affect somebody. It's quite the gorgeous piece." And I actually have a piece for this, but none of you are here. Oh, I do have one for the fountain as well. I will share it all because it came out of the picture. So this is the Purify water fountain. This is the top of it. It's just a series of skulls and water pouring out of them. And then when it finishes building, there's this kind of ethereal blue flame out of the top. Thank you, Tattoo Sites. And the...
Is that? Oh, Purify Water.
Purify Water is just the name of it. It's the statue. And then let me get... I'm going to send this to the journal. And I'll put it on screen because there is a chance. There is a chance that Georgia remembers him. I don't know if Georgia does. He is also in the NPC section, so you can see him. I have the name on it just in case it sparks Allie's memory at all. Anything?
As I search my way.
Without searching. No searching. Do you, as a player or as a character, remember it? Now, if not, you're welcome to look it up. The DC is just higher now.
I'm texting you on Discord, Eric.
Uh-huh. Pretty good piece, right, Drew?
Yeah.
I don't think I do.
All right. Then it doesn't affect you in any form or fashion. She goes, "Oh, that is a shame. I was really hoping to see more of a reaction from this piece. It's personally my favorite piece. Well then, shall we move on to another? Would you like this one or this one?" And she starts tapping.
I'm gonna exchange a glance with Maria.
Wilcup goes, "I'm not pulling the next one. This is just seems like I'm afraid if any of these paintings are for me, I am absolutely doomed." As Burke is staring at the fountain of like shit he has seen for way too long.
I look at the curator and I ask, "Do you mind if I take this one off?" As I go to one that's still covered.
So one is here. 2 has been uncovered.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, for the ones that have been uncovered, I will flip the token.
Okay.
The other ones have not been uncovered yet. So 1, 3, and 5.
I will go to 1, I guess.
1 is the one all the way over here. It's the first one when you walk in the door.
Okay, then yeah, we'll do that one.
Okay. You flip 1 around. And she goes, "This is a very special piece." Sweet irony, Maria. As you pull it, it is. I did not plan those. I literally have them numbered and the people on them, and you just happen to pick yours.
That feels right.
Maria, in it, there is definitely something that you remember. Bats on the screen, and we'll go to us before I bring that cast back. There is a picture of Luther in here.
Oh, okay.
And it is a picture of themselves, a picture of them painted by themselves. Like the hand is up with a brush. But behind him is a smattering of notes from his journals when he was a hunter. Way back.
Okay.
I need your will save.
I will save. I'm patching that.
Okay. You don't want to tap back into the old snuff the light when mother comes and close your eyes and reopen them?
Actually, no. Let's do that. Let's do that one instead.
Permanent now.
I know, but I see, I look, And I close my eyes, and when I open them again, I think like in the notes, I see a contract
Okay.
on the wall.
Okay. Now, I don't have a picture of this guy, but I have a feeling that Drew's recent purchase might be a good picture of him.
Oh, that was better. That's a 25.
Okay, 25 is a success, but not a critical success.
Okay.
Would you, one, like to make a success a critical success with a card? If you do that, it means you don't have to talk about this person at all. You can look at the picture, hold your emotions in, take no damage, suck it up, and be fine. Or you can take your damage and you get to basically do what the curator does.
Talk about the art.
Talk about who it is and what it is and why. You're happy to, if you want to be shrouded in mystery, we have 2 ETHUANTIA crit cards.
I think I'm going to take a crit card.
Okay. We're going to use Serving Hands crit card. Very smart. Very smart. What do they look like, at least?
Okay, so I will say this. So, actually,
Put me on camera. I can hold up my new.
Yep, I already did.
Oh.
Get that shine off of it. It looks like that.
yeah, looks like that. In his younger years.
In his younger years. It is a younger picture of him.
Yeah, so he's standing there and he's got all the monster notes on the board, and I will say this, like in the maybe it wasn't there before, now it is, or maybe like it was a trick of the light, but there is like a piece of paper that talks about Fey incursions. And, making an exchange for information.
So as it's pulled up and you hold your shit together, the curator goes, I see. An internal piece for you? This gentleman, when painted, I bought this from somebody else. They traveled through here briefly, looking for you. He expected much more emotion from you, I think, but it's all right. Sometimes emotion's internal. Sometimes, and she points to the fountain and the blood pouring from Burke's face. Sometimes it's external.
It is very striking, and it is a very good recreation of how he looked when he was younger.
I see. Well, it is what it is. Only a few more left until the showing's over. I'll leave these up for other people, obviously, to have a look at them in the future. Is there anything that you would like to say about the piece, or would you like to keep it private for yourself? Personal.
I will say this. This man is my true father, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, well, isn't that something delightful? I always thought you were born from nothing. And she kind of laughs. Like an enigma.
Yes, but he made me what I am today. So.
Well, he should be very proud of you. Well, excellent. Is there any other paintings that you would like to unveil? And she kind of waves her hands over him, and Wheelcup is like next to the door now. Because he sees that 3 are down. There's 5 of you in total of regulars here, and he is worried. Wilcup's like, hey guys, how about we just wait for Regdur at this point, and we just don't continue fucking ourselves over and make blood fountains or whatever the shit that is.
George has like crossed over to Burke at this point. Could I roll a medicine?
Yeah, if you want to make a look at him, she even pulls like out of the underneath of her mask, she pulls out like a long white cloth. She goes, "Oh, darling, if you need to clean him."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, this is just Burke, are you all right?
I mean, obviously,
hard fucking no.
Not.
We have to stop him. I I never stopped him. It's on me.
It's
Um,
no.
I have to stop him.
Curator, I don't want to disrespect the rules for the showing. Is it all right if we eat and drink in here, or would you prefer for us to wait until the showing's over? and
Oh, as
the
long
paintings
as
are done?
you're 10 foot from the paintings, I'd be fine with you eating and drinking.
Okay. So then,
Where's your other friend? The other dwarven, very charismatic fellow carried a firearm, which I haven't seen since the odd pistol that the Fey folk was carrying through.
He'll be on his way.
he's dealing
Where's
with a
that sexy
family
dwarf?
affair. He's dealing with a
hope.
family affair right now. Burke, if you wouldn't
Nice.
mind coming over by me.
Would you like me to bring him here? I can paint a picture of him and have him here in a moment. I can draw anyone from outside the house here if you'd like. I said I was going to share secrets tonight, so...
Well, before that happened, I think like Maria's trying to be like, no, he's taking care of something. I don't want to
Sure.
draw him here too early.
Oh, okay.
I want to give him some time to complete, to help get her situated. Is
Well-
kind of what I say.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a moment. We'll break. We'll come back. I know that this can be a very taxing emotional experience. And she walks, and as she like bounces past the last painting, she just fucking vanishes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull these two away from the paintings, at least 10 feet,
Sure.
because I don't want to get the curator mad at me.
Yep. She just does one thing on the paintings. You know, you don't
yeah,
eat next to
no.
the Mona Lisa
I-
or
Correct.
the horrific
I'm making sure.
fountain.
I'm making sure we don't do that.
And so you know
so-
the fountain appeared right in front of it. So it's in the
Okay.
5-foot square in front of it here.
Okay. Burke, I'm gonna give you an elixir of life potion. It's the minor, so it's a 1d6 plus 1. But it's one of my infusions for the day. And then Georgia, I know that this has been quite the roller coaster, or quite the airship, skiff, choppy air. Would you like some Bravos brew?
Oh, that honestly sounds like it would absolutely hit the spot.
Okay.
Thank
so I pull one out. It's like a little flask, but when you drink it, it tastes like beer. It tastes like ale. And that gives you a +1 item bonus to will saves.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
I didn't want to drink it for myself because like I was looking at the painting. And I didn't know, but now that Maria's kind of pieced it together, she's just like, here you go.
Appreciate it. And that was also a 28 for the medicine check.
Which difficulty did you use?
You have to pick. Unless are you an expert or trained?
I am an expert.
So you have to pick if you want to do the 15 DC or the next one up. You have to pick the DC. Because you're...
No, I do the... Yeah.
So you're doing the
I'll do
15?
the
So
15.
it's one less, but we do have... You don't have your tent set up, though. But we do have science, the scientific healing. So that'll let you keep the total number of dice, which I think is 2d8. So
Beautiful.
for science, for medical science, we're going to use Nessie's. Do you believe in science?
5.
5 hit points back, Burke.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have to take you
Wait,
into...
so wait,
into...
I'm sorry. So she did a 15.
Yes. It's normally 2d8, but everything is 1 die less healing.
Okay, but what did you get on your check, Allie?
28.
Oh, that'd be a
She
crit.
crit.
That'd be a crit. I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's the only reason
Okay.
I was.
So
yeah,
so just make it 10 instead. It just doubles it because you just get 2 extra dice, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, right, for the crit.
yeah.
So we'll just say it's 10. So you get 10 back. Are you out of health and into stamina?
If I drink this thing Kelly gave me, I will.
Okay, cool.
So the D6 plus 1
All right.
for 4. So let's see, 4. That puts me full hit points, just a couple points of stamina.
All right. So as that happens, and you guys are kind of patching each other up and talking about what's going on and taking a breather from the experience, it means that we're going back to Drew fighting for his life. It's the best time. It's the best time. So, buddy.
Huh.
Oh, I'm getting beard. Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Jen.
So as you start talking her down, we're gonna start with you. She does stop in her tracks. She kind of looks down at the floor, looks at you, and she goes, "Look, I'm going to finish the work that I have been told to do after the death of one of his children. And if you are going to stop me, I will murder you as well."
You're not going to kill innocent people.
Nobody who is a hunter here is innocent. But I do thank you for bringing me here.
They're not poachers. They're hunters.
Poachers? I'm not worried about poachers. I said I am here for Drathok, not for the Circle of Pine.
Drathok is part of the Circle of Pine.
Yes, but not for that reason. Not the ways of the Pine. Sure, poaching can be bad, but that's not why I'm here.
Why are you here?
Give me diplomacy. For one of your actions. That's a very good question. I'll even lower the DC.
Damn it. Cards. Okay, it's another nat 20, but I have 0 charisma, so it's just a 20.
Well, that is not 10 above, so that just means it's a success, not a critical success.
Okay.
But you take it, right? You take what you can get.
Yeah.
You might get another roll out of these 3. She says, "Look, when the spirit is summoned within one of his children, they do his bidding." And you can see the moths are floating out of her eye, and you still see them like hitting all the windows. So, step out of my way and move your toy.
This is not his bidding. This is not what you were told to do. You were told to find his child.
No.
That is your current contract, if you will.
were told to find his child.
No, my sister, your mother, was told to find his child. And you told us the same reason you were there was to find his child. That is your current.
I am here.
What are you talking about?
I am
He
here.
meant you're not in the house that he told you to find the child in.
No. You don't understand. Please move.
I'm not moving and letting you kill innocent people. You're my niece.
Fine.
I don't want to fight you.
She kicks the pool cue and pulls it out of the neck and takes a throw at you.
Okay.
27?
Yeah, it's a hit.
All right. Not a crit, though, right? It's not 10 over?
No.
14 points. She grazes your cheek with it, and she goes, "That's the first warning." And in Elven, she says something that you don't understand. Doesn't sound angry this time, though. I will say that. The tone doesn't sound like when Cillian was angry. 2 actions left to try to get yourself a better one than just 1 bonus. What would you like to do? You call him for any help?
She's going to figure the portal out. There's nobody else really here that I could...
I mean, there's tons of hunters outside. The carpenter's somewhere in here. They just got all done eating dinner time-wise.
I mean, that's true.
But I don't know if you want to risk your carpenter.
I don't really.
The goat should be here somewhere. You could yell for Johan.
It's true. And if she's down, I mean, if she's opening the portal, she would have to see him anyway. So we'll have to deal with that anyway.
That's not true.
I'm supposed to bring.
That's not true. He's on the 2nd floor. He's up here.
Right, but if we're both going through the portal, he's gonna see him.
Yeah, if you bring him with you, yes. If that's the decision you make, correct.
Johan, can you hear me, friend?
Are you screaming it as loud as you can, kind of thing?
Yeah, just Johan.
Apparently, goat ears are very keen with my 19. I will come down the back, see all the moths, come to the back door. She would be down in the basement. Let's put her in her fucking portal. Hey, look, I already have a token there for her. Boop. So 20, 60, 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I have one action left as he comes sprinting on all fours and like rights himself as you hear the of all the teeth. How are you, Rector? Whoa, wait, Rector, why are you here?
Well, I came to get you and bring her out to save her, but unfortunately...
Save who? He can't see in the room. That's where he is, so I have one action left.
My sister's daughter.
Oh, and he takes his last action just to walk over and look. Goes, she's awfully tall.
I know, right? I'm going to...
So I'm here now.
I'm going to draw my rifle.
Okay.
And shoot over her head at one of the shadows.
Just like a random one in the room?
Yeah.
Is it a magical weapon?
Yes.
All right, give me your roll.
Ranged 12, 22 to hit.
All right, 22. Are you happy with it?
I mean, I don't have anything to up it.
I mean, you can always spend a point.
A point?
Hero point.
Oh, no.
All right. 23 hits. It smashes
22.
the wall. Oh, 22. 22 does not hit.
Okay.
It hits the wall. The thing slinks away, and there's like a spot in the wall as the shadow kind of separates itself. And it slinks down, and it comes up, and behind her, you see this tall standing shadow with a rack, and you see lights lighting up behind her in the shadows on like an antler rack. Is this like crouched down in the room?
Okay.
You hear the mayor's voice. The ritual is ready, and you hear it in your head.
Okay.
Are you running? Got an action left.
I can't leave her to decimate everyone here.
Johan goes, I stay. I'll stop. Won't hurt her. I promise.
I was hoping to bring you with me.
Why?
To try and suss
Why would
out
I
the
go?
place. Things are weird. And your nose is good for this. But
I don't want to go back. I have a body now. It took me a long time.
well,
Just-
that's fair.
Just
I won't force you.
Homer's face is just on over the goat nose.
That's fine. I won't force you. All right.
So, where would you like her?
Keep her safe. Keep her contained. Don't hurt her if you can.
I know a cave.
Not the wolf cave.
No, close. Very close. There is a bear there. The bear is dead now.
God. So many problems with bears here.
Yeah, I know.
How do
Go.
you get down
He
to the
patches you.
basement?
Through the back room, over here. There's a stairwell. It's this hollowed out spot right here. In the kitchen. So he pats you, and he steps in your place, and like makes himself stouter, and like kind of grounds himself, gets himself ready, and he kind of pushes you to the side. And then I will cut back to our party inside.
Okay. I almost get to the door.
Okay. Almost to the door. Almost to the door. As the camera shifts, it slides through the door. There is a portal that is opened. Back in the darkest house, or the rotting house as it now is, you can see a black portal opening. It would be... Let me get our gallery here. It would be... appearing on the back of the room here. And it's a black void, and you see these lace-covered hands reach through and pull it open, and you see the mayor's face, like with the mask on right now. And she yells into the room. You see her mouth move before you hear the voice. And whoever's the closest person, either Maria or Burke, who's in line, it says, Regdur is on his way. The portal is open, but some woman is killing people here. And she would say that, and you'd hear it in your head. It would probably be Maria, because she's in line with the portal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's open and you can get through it, fucking leave.
Coming or going. Yeah, really. That's what it is. But I will say there are 2 more paintings here that have not been uncovered. Wilkoff sees the portal, and he creeps around, and he's like, eh? Points to the portal, like, are we fucking going?
I mean, Georgia, I turn to Georgia, I'm like, Georgia, apparently a woman is killing people at the lodge, and the only woman that we know of that is an unknown is your child.
Or your sister. Either
Or my
way, you're on
sister,
your
yeah.
name's on the bill.
Right.
Yeah.
Or your sister, I'm not sure. But we came here to fulfill whatever ask Draloth made of you.
Was to get his kid out. That's what was asked.
Yeah, let's get his child out. But your child said that she was also sent here to get its child. So, did we complete it? Do you know?
Can I try to roll like a gut instinct?
I mean, I don't really know. You haven't seen anything that would be one of Dracov's kids, but I will let you have a nature roll to see if you remember any stories about Dracov. I will tell you it is a 20.
Sure.
It is a difficult roll.
Okay, and you said nature?
He said nature. Yeah.
Nature, yes, correct.
It's
Unless you have druidic lore, I would accept a druidic lore of some type as well, or cryptid lore.
21.
So, if there were other kids here, the only kid you've seen, granted you guys have not seen a lot of the house, is Diana's dead character. But you don't know she's dead. But you do know that your daughter was carrying a doll that looked very similar to Clara.
Good job, Drew.
Oh my god, it's the girl, it's Clara. Yeah, we have to get back to the lodge.
The curator comes out again from behind the paintings and goes, "Are we ready to continue?" And she's smoking now.
Unless it's the fucking curator.
Well, that was the assumption.
That is the assumption, but that has not been asked yet.
As she's smoking, does she have all of her fingers?
No, on that hand, yes, she does. The other one is down behind the paintings.
Georgia is going to take a step forward.
For those
say,
who haven't seen
Excuse
her,
me,
I will,
Madame Curator.
Oh, yes. What can I do for you? Are you ready to pick another painting so we can discover it together?
I actually have a question for you.
Well, we have time.
Absolutely. Are you familiar with Dracov?
Audience, can I get a D20 roll from you? Dracov, have I ever seen a painting based around someone named? Do they have any other names at all? Have you ever been painted, by the way?
No.
You should really. She taps one of the paintings. You should take a look.
Oh, but we came here for very, very time-sensitive business. You may know him as the Soul of Winter.
The Soul of Winter.
Yes.
I'm afraid I don't know anyone by these names. With that natural one.
Oh, God. Would it be all right if I just took a look at your hand for a moment?
Oh, sure. And she puts it like under the mask and like holds that hand over top.
Oh, I mean the other one, if you don't mind.
Sure. And she holds it up. She's holding a fan. And she's missing her pinky. Or no, sorry. She's missing her... Hold on. She is missing her middle finger, actually, it looks like, from my notes. The picture doesn't have it, but she's missing her middle finger. You would know that Dracoth, the finger they take, is how close they are to him. The larger the finger, the more important they are.
Oh.
Makes a bigger candle.
Do you remember entering the house?
Oh, no, I've been the curator here for as long as I can remember.
Interesting. Do you like making deals?
I like selling paintings.
Well, would you mind taking a step out of the room with us for just a moment? Maybe you'll be able to find more clientele?
I live here.
Yes, but I think that somebody would like to have a conversation with you who can't enter the house themselves. Would that be appropriate?
Is it her?
And in
And with the fan, she points at the black rip between here and there with the mirror looking through.
It's right through that way, yes.
Regdur would be running up from behind right now. Oh, I see your sibling is there. Tell him I have a picture for him. You've already unveiled it, and she points to the gentleman holding the weapons. He should definitely see it. His friend would have wanted that. Well, then let's finish this, the gallery display, and then we can talk about me leaving. You see, like, the woman struggling as she's, like, holding the portal open behind.
Yes, we'll finish up, and then we discuss it just through there, please. There's a limited amount of time this door will be open, but it can be reopened.
Well, I can paint them and bring them here. They don't have to worry about it.
It's open. You're all here. Let's fucking go.
And there's a delay, and eventually you hear his voice. It's like 10, 15. It's like Twitch. It's like 10 to 30 seconds.
So, Eric, real quick, like, in
Ask
this
away.
room, because I wasn't...
Yep.
I'm a little tired, so work was kind of that today. But we're in this room, we're in the gallery, and we saw the rot outside the house. Is the rot inside the house?
It is, but it's not in this room. It was near the elevator. It was in the window you crawled through, but it is not in this room. I will say some of the pictures that you did, the thing you want to do that we're drawing, were X'd out.
Okay.
So maybe the rot isn't everywhere yet.
Okay. So the gallery wasn't X'd out.
It was not. From your memory,
Okay.
the gallery was not X'd out.
I say, and although my diplomacy is also not the best, I say to the curator, I'm like, I would love to finish seeing the exhibit in the way that it was meant to be seen.
Excellent.
And
Let's
then
go.
perhaps we should discuss perhaps packaging it up and leaving at least temporarily to keep it safe.
Well, normally I leave them on display for a while so everybody can see them before I sell them, but I do sell or give the paintings away. Specifically, I was told to give the painting for your friend Burke here to him. I know that I'm supposed to give the one to Georgia. That one was left behind by an important close friend of hers. And then the fifth painting, I'm really not sure who it goes to.
Oh, well, I'm just saying because I'm not sure if you're aware of the infestation of the wood, the structure of the house.
I know it is in disrepair. It is very old.
It is spreading.
It's a shame. I take care of the gallery, although I do want a new rug, but I do take care of the place. The wood is in good shape. I maintain it. I did have a carpenter here for a while. He really did help fix a lot of the things.
I just the portraits I saw in the elevator are being crossed out.
Oh. That boy, he dreams things. She's very like stern about it. He seems to think that he understands the house better than everyone else, but all he does is walk the halls and talk to a shadow. Anyway, if you want to give me a diplomacy check, you can. Redger, I need to know if you're coming through. That's what I need to know. If you're just opening it, staying on the other side.
If I see all of them, I'm like, let's go. Georgia, your daughter is losing it.
Audience, I need a D6. It's going to be the amount of time it takes for the child to get down here after murdering anyone in the way.
So I actually got a 21.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Which is good for me.
I gotta cross convert her from the fucking house. 21 is very good. Well, I mean, I guess I could take the paintings with us.
I just want to keep them safe until the house is properly addressed or fumigated. It's the rot's infecting the trees outside, and it seems to be infecting, like, spreading to the house here. I'm just...
That's good. She carefully takes George's picture off. She sets it down on the ground. She folds it, and she sticks a few pins through the back to kind of hold the cloth around. She goes, Georgia, your painting.
Georgia takes it,
Here you
trying
go.
not to look worried.
And then she goes over to, and she grabs it off the floor, and she wraps it up, and she pins it, and she walks over to the portal and passes it through. And she goes, I think you can hear me, but Regder, this is yours. And like passes it over the mayor's head. You immediately notice she is missing a finger. It's been behind a fan since the first episode.
Oh, God. Okay.
The mayor goes, take the fucking painting.
No, I am. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to yank her.
You hear a scream upstairs. I get 6 rounds at killing, man. She turns around. Yeah, good job.
No, you did.
She goes, all right. She goes over to the other one. She goes, excuse me, Burke, do you want to help me move the fountain? We should take it with us. It was made for you. I can't really put it back in the painting. The painting is just where all the paint was is like melted down. But now your older friend is facing you. And he was not
He's still
before.
in the house?
Oh,
Is he still here?
He was.
Where are my people?
Oh, I don't know who you're talking about. I just know he was here.
Hanks, Fujak, Michaels, they were with us, with Munson and I, when we came into this house. If they're still here, I need to find them.
I've only met him. I apologize. If you describe them, I could stop what we're doing and paint them and bring them to the room. If you have a good description, or some people have photographs, or they have portraits painting. We're down to 5 rounds now.
Regner just got a PS5, so he's screaming, let's fucking go!
Would you like me to stop and paint them? And she continues wrapping the 5th painting, and she goes, who should I give this to? As that happens, you notice that Wilcup is standing by the portal ready to go. Well, who should, Maria, would you be willing to carry 2 paintings?
Yes.
And she wraps yours up as well and hands you the 5th painting and yours.
Okay.
Wilcup, can you help with the fountain, please?
Do you want me to grab something that was painted in thin air?
Maybe
think
a
we
clue
leave it.
as to where I can find him.
Fuck, fine, Burke, grab a side. And he walks over and like grabs it, and it's still wet. It has solidity to it. You can pick it up. And your fingers kind of like sink into it. He goes, this is wrong. And he like moves towards the portal with you. Are you stepping through with him?
you paint outside of here?
I don't know. I don't remember ever being anywhere but here. I know that my
Come with us.
ability
We'll find
to
out.
be creative works here. It may work somewhere else.
We have a lovely studio that you are welcome to help yourself to.
Ooh, can I get a diplomacy check from you?
We can try. You know what? I'm gonna patch that.
All right, patch it is. Marked.
Got
Gonna
one
be
of those
patch 64.
shitty beginner's art kits that you see everywhere. Come try it out.
Artist loft.
God.
That one you got at Maya, Joe, and you're like, great, watercolors, you fucking assholes. Gouache? Who knows, great.
I only got
So
a
good
4.
gouache.
I like it now, yeah, but I hated it when I got it. What you got on your second roll, Allie?
Also a 4.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to say that that succeeded. She goes, I mean, but I have quite the studio here. You see
can
no
have beneath
paints
the
in this room.
supplies
None in this room
that
at
you
all.
need.
I have everything that I could ever need here. The house provides. And she kind of like behind her arm goes like this and pulls out like a paintbrush. The house provides. You just merely must think about it.
Well, we still need to go ahead and get you a new carpet, so why don't we go and you can have any carpet in the entire house?
Is the when
Really
When
ties
the-
them together.
when the curator pulls the paintbrush out of thin air,
Yeah.
does that look corrupted at all or rotting?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It is wood though. Well, okay. Let me wrap up the last one, and she goes over and gets the last painting. So she kind of is putting this one together. She walks to Georgia. Georgia, I have a smaller painting as well for you. It's not on display, but the person who painted the other one told me I should give this to you.
Okay.
And it's
I-
you know the old folding frames that are like two that are folded together?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, and it's not wrapped. It's just got like the little lock on the outside, and she hands it to you.
Okay.
Metal frame.
Take it and hold it with the other painting.
It's small. It's only like this big.
Oh.
That
put it in my
metal is
pocket.
cold. You felt that kind of metal before. And anytime you were around Cillian, he would tell you to get that metal away from him.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna
All right.
put it in like my coat bag. Yeah.
She looks around. She's like, is there any other paintings we should bring? I have a stockpile. As the portal goes, as we go to round 4. Another scream from upstairs.
I think we.
What about your old friend? I have one for your old friend, but he's not here.
We can set that aside from. We haven't really seen him since we left, so if he's still
Let's-
here, maybe I can come back for him later. But
And she like goes to a box
Freeze.
and she's rifling through. I have one for a guy named Johan. I have one for. Now here's your old friend. Oh, yep, surprise. And she like starts like she ignored what you said, and she starts wrapping it.
Wait, Maria, you said you made a painting before and you could use it to leave here? Is that what
Oh,
you
your
said?
painting's on the. It's setting. It's next to go up actually. It's setting
And then-
on the far right hand corner.
And he turned to the curator and says, and you said Munson painted a lot of portraits, a lot of paintings in here, right? Did he
Oh.
use those to go someplace?
Well, yeah, he travels everywhere. He brings back people to see the house. He said that art is like science, that through the discovery of his paintings, he has learned how to tap into other places. He was very philosophical.
Please, please,
Yeah,
we need your help.
I know, I'm gathering the paintings, and she hands you the next 2 paintings.
I've got a strength of 16. I'll carry. If you want
I mean, you can just start handing them through the portal if you want and make Regtor take them all. That's up to you.
I mean, if it gets her through this portal faster, then yes.
Okay, so you start shuffling through, just shoving them through.
I mean, I'm being...
Right, yeah, careful, but yeah. And she gives you the one that is of your old companion, and she says, do you know Johann? It's a very odd painting. It's split down the middle, and she picks it up and shows you all. And it is a picture of Johann and a picture of the goat person, like split image. And down the middle of it, it is like two canvases sewn together.
Yeah, that's not, that's pretty accurate for his current state of affairs. Yes.
Is this a friend or foe of yours? We could just leave it here.
He's both friend right now.
Well then, and she turns and looks to Burke and says, then your friend is quite the established painter, and hands it to Maria.
I take that one too.
All right, I think that's it. Oh, and she reaches down behind one of the walls and grabs a wooden box out of nowhere. It's like a tackle box, like the fucking art bins of wood, though. All right, I mean, I guess I could go on a journey. I've never left my gallery, but I haven't had a lot of visitors lately, to be honest with you. As another scream happens upstairs.
We did our best. All right.
Well, after you all, let's go. Where are we going? She says as she walks with you. Will Cup is the first through the fucking portal.
We're going on an adventure.
And that scream happens, and Will Cuff looks back at the portal, and there's that moment of like, maybe that is better. And he goes, what is going on? And the mayor goes, get out of the way, and like nudges him. Will Cuff asks you what's going on. Regder, are you staying here as they're all going through, or are you going back upstairs to solve the problem?
I'm going to be like, Georgia, your daughter's going apeshit.
Thought it was Playbell.
No, it is absolutely Tillian, and I may be the cause of it. And if that's the case, then we'll go from there. But I came back through another head, and it turns out it was a little vampire girl.
And Will Cuff goes, oh, that is horrible. All right, come on, next painting. As he's like reaching, he's finding that fucking, he hated her.
He's like, oh no. Anyway,
paintings, let's go. And when the woman steps through, there's something about her that changes. She looks older. Her hands are a little more withered. She doesn't have the same like really sharp posture that she had. She ages almost immediately when she leaves the house. She's kind of crunched over. Her spine looks compacted. And she walks out with you into the room. And the mayor side-eyes her fucking hard when she comes through. And it is obvious. She does not hide it. And she waits for the last two to come through. Is there anything that anyone's going to do before they leave that room? The fountain's in the room. Will Cuff's in the room. Nobody else is in the room yet unless you say you go through. Because I don't want to shortchange you if there's something you wanted to do when you were leaving. Because I have no idea what you guys are doing.
I'm going to... Like the smaller portrait that I made originally, I'm going to leave that in here.
Okay.
Just in case we need it.
Okay. Anything else?
I know that the mayor can't keep this open very long. Once the curator
She's made all of her
leaves...
checks so far.
Okay, once the curator leaves the room, does the rot start hitting the gallery?
Not that it's visible or anything, no.
Okay,
not
okay.
Yet. Not
I
yet.
wasn't sure if it was like, or what.
Yeah, and the problem is you don't know where the gallery is in the
Yeah.
house in like the
Yeah.
blueprint. But
Yeah,
great
yeah,
question. Anything else you're doing before you step through?
I'm gonna wait for everyone else to go through.
All right. Burke, are you stepping through when you hand the fountain through? Do you follow?
yeah. If these paintings are by Munson, they might have a clue as to his whereabouts.
Okay. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Right.
For clarity, Johann's is by him, and your painting that is now blank with him staring at you, like he turned in the picture and he wasn't facing that way before, and the fountain is missing, but you have the real thing now, so yay. Those things are there. But other than that, that's the only two she said that he painted directly. Okay, so you step through?
Then I'll go through, yeah.
All right, you step through. That'll take us to Georgia. Georgia.
The moment Georgia heard that Tillian was going rogue, she would have gone through.
So you sprint through as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you sprint through. And it looks like everyone went through. Maria, are you going through as well?
So, because I got the crits, we used the card for the crit success.
Yeah.
Was there anything in my painting from Luther, like, about this place specifically, like maybe like a mission for me?
There is a lot of notes on there that you would have to read through. Hit the back, basically, like if the background normally would be like a place, it is just like a bunch of his pages spread out from the book. It would take a magnifying glass, time to read it. Nothing in the memory, no.
Okay.
Nothing like that. And you made your crit save, so there doesn't seem to be anything that was sent to you. It was more like an emotional trauma that could be caused, and you are apparently impervious to emotional problems. So,
all right, then I'm leaving the one painting there, and I guess I will go through.
So when you get to it, a hand comes out, and it's Will Cuffs, and he puts his hand into your chest.
To my chest?
Yeah. And he opens his hand and drops 3 TNT sticks. And he goes, "Fuck this house." Your choice, but he did give you 3 TNT sticks to blow up the house. Or at least this room. Who knows how much more?
I will... You know what? I'm gonna hand the other paintings through.
He takes it.
I'm gonna take my painting.
Okay.
That is my key out.
Okay.
And I'm gonna light this bitch on fire. Let's go.
All right. Let me just mark "fuck this house" as checked.
Achievement unlocked.
There's just a box in my plot web to check if that happens.
Fucking boom.
As you light them and throw them in the room and step through, the mayor sees them. I'm assuming you kind of like toss them to the walls in the room as you light them, right?
Yeah.
The mayor goes, "Oh, Jesus," and she reaches through and like actually she wouldn't say Jesus, she would say by the keepers, and she would grab you and start pulling you through. Can I get a ranged attack? I want to know if you are like successfully hitting some structural points, or I'll let you use a craft roll. Your choice.
I am going to use...
Could Burke assist
From
with an
outside the
engineering
portal?
door? Oh, okay.
You could tell her, but it would be delayed reaction. If you want to yell through, you could.
I'm going to use crafting, actually.
Okay.
Like, do some calculations, figure out, like, what goes where.
Sure.
The reason I grabbed my painting is in case I got stuck here, then I could...
Right.
Try and use it to dip out.
Oh, I'm with you. I had an idea. I knew what you're doing.
Maria's got her bag of esoterica, and one of them's a tiny little teacup that she got from a mouse that was in the house at one time, and says, "Here's where they need work."
Right.
Jesus fucking Christ! Wow, man! Wow.
This I'm actually using a patch for now for realsies.
Okay, for realsies, patching it up.
Versus
All right, I'm marking it, Maria. Ow.
Because that superstition would not make sense.
No,
okay.
not at fucking all. I close my eyes and you're dead. Like...
I'm dead. No, that's a 28. I got an 18 on the die.
Now, that is a success. It's not a crit success, but we have one legendary card that is technically a max crit, and it is from Star Drew. Would you like to use it?
Fuck this house.
To blow this house to Kingdom Come.
Fuck this house. Listen, we know that like Hithersworn is either subsuming it or it's subsuming Hithersworn. We don't need this thing having a permanent portal here. It can keep floating around figuring shit out. Fuck this house.
Fuck this house indeed. As you set the TNT off in the important parts in the painted room, and you turn and you go to the portal, the mayor reaches out to pull you through as the portal snaps shut. And you hear the first thing as the portal closes. There is a shake in the actual like hunting lodge from the explosion going off as the portal closes. Upstairs, instead of a scream, you hear someone fall down the steps. As everyone turns around, you see Tillian laying on the ground with a bullet hole in the center of her chest. And you hear the of another shot getting ready to go. And you hear boom again go off. We got her! We got her! And that's where I will cut our season finale. So, with everybody else, we're going to go into a little just like chat back time afterwards while Allie worries about the death of her fucking child. That she never knew she was going to see and may never see again. It's perfect.
I mean,
It's perfect.
it's just been a 10-hour jaunt for him.
Yeah.
Like, I had a niece, and then I didn't.
So I rolled a bunch of D20s to see if anyone was good enough to get her. And the old couple got her.
You're welcome, old couple.
The old couple got her. They shot. They both have rifles. They're great shots. And they took them to make sure she was down here. She is bleeding. Doesn't mean she can't be saved. But that is the current situation. As she's bleeding out, there is a shadow in this room, obviously. But we'll handle that when we start season 2. Well, everybody, we had a wild season. We did a lot of stuff in this one. And to start us off, I did say if the players have questions or the audience has questions, I'll answer them during this. We're not going to do this for very long. Maybe like 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how many questions we get. I'm going to change our music up, though. I feel like this music is currently inappropriate unless we want to watch Allie cry about her child being shot twice in the chest for being a horrible, horrible mother. And we'll go to something else, a little less sad. I don't know if White Bat
Anime
makes...
ending theme music.
Does White Bat make anything that isn't sad? I don't know what they do. Oh my God. I'll look. I'll find something. So I do have a question for the cast. Did any of you have a backup character? Thinking that this was going to be the season that like your character went down?
Absolutely.
Do you want to share it, or are you keeping it secret? Maria's like, fuck you, I was never going to die.
Oh no, I was like, if I eat it, I'll just come up with something on the fly. Like,
oh my God. Oh Jesus. No, I don't believe in that.
Eric, you already know this, but I'm really into the exorcist archetype.
No, really? No. I would never guess that.
I've got Clive. He's the backup. He was the original, and then I got a different idea for Burke. And now throughout the whole season, the whole time, all I'm thinking is like, Clive would have been perfect for this.
Sure. Yeah.
So he'll be here if something ever happens to Burke.
Actually, if I remember when you told me you're making a new character, I said I can do whatever I want with Clive, right? And you said yes.
I don't recall that.
Considering the darkest house?
Oh,
Man, when you
Clive's
said bullet,
I was here for a good
like-
time and a long time.
Yeah, Eric, when you said bullet shot, I was like, oh, Clive got out of the house. That's immediately what I thought, was that you were going to end it with Clive shooting my baby.
I'm not. I'm ended with the two old people. It's better when random people who are trying to do the right thing kill somebody. If Clive did it, I'd have to ask Todd, which character are you playing? And I didn't want to do that unless that painting was open. So, hey, we'll get to it.
You gotta. Burke's got an out. He's got a nemesis to track down. He could run off into the sunset.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Here.
You gave me Dr. fucking Doom. So I have a nemesis for next season. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We got one.
Yeah, all the components have finally been like revealed, so I can say on camera, like when I pitched Burke to Eric, the elevator pitch, the one line was Victorian Fantastic Four meets Land of the Lost via Event Horizon.
And I went, you got me with Event Horizon. So yeah, and
that's how he came about.
Well, I mean, you tapped into the stuff that we don't do on the show that often, which is the Doomsday Clock and how the different realms work. Like, that's the part you tap. We've talked about it a little bit with our Gravelighter Lantern. Like, we talked about pocket domains being wrapped in usually an element or another domain to keep that purgatory in check, like a prison or a resting state, whatever, transitional period. But we've never really done a lot with the planes besides the Never Never. First season, we dealt with the Never Never a little bit. Some of our players have done more.
Yeah, on strip. Well, Todd specifically, Phineas Fives was from the Plane of Fire, wasn't he?
Oh, Phineas was
Lucanius 5.
Lucanius, that's what it's
Lucanius.
Pretty little slapper gnome
He
with
was
stretchy
an
arms.
aberration gnome, right?
Yeah.
He was
sorcerer?
an aberrant sorcerer. Yeah, so he'd backhand people with his super long arms. That was so funny.
Oh, I
I
forgot.
think he may have been from a different plane. That's right. He had a Rubus. Or
Did
He had a
he?
Rubus for the Plane of Fire. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
That's
remember
what it
that
was.
now. I do remember that
And
now.
we did a little. Actually, I don't know if I want to say this because I don't want to reveal anything.
Reveal what? You worried?
Well, in one of our previous games, we actually went to what was left of a plane.
You did.
I don't want to say too much because I don't know if you.
I mean,
it's
I'm not worried
lore.
about it. I'm not worried about it. You can say whatever you want. They're realms
went-
now, but yeah, you can definitely say what it is.
One of our teams went to what was left of the elemental plane of water
It's true.
to get something back, and
It's true.
that ended up.
Why don't you tell them how you got to elemental plane of water? That's the better story. What the item was
Oh, the diver's helmet.
and what it
Yeah.
made. What it made in the world. It was the first
It ma-
man-made lake. Like,
The first man-made lake that, ironically, the Druids of the Pine had a real problem with because we were in their territory. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it's the first man-made lake, and it
true.
is clean, fresh water, and
Start-
the whole town is built around them being like the true faith pays everybody for water. If you move here, you can just have it, but you have to have something to add to the
Bring a
town's
skill.
society.
bring a
Bring a
skill.
skill.
Bring a skill.
Yep.
There's a place in, God, where is that? Somewhere in the real world. They're bringing people over and giving you a home and giving you a place to live and paying you to be there if you can bring a skill to the new community being built. Like it's by the state or the government, like in real life. It's a real thing that they were doing right before COVID or right afterwards. I can't quite remember.
like you're saying with fresh water, that's I don't know if I got through it all with the severe mental damage, but this guy that Burke was stranded with, he was trying to continue the project they were working on, which was to make these machines that magically produced equipment for soldiers, and basically like magical 3D printers. That's why Burke has these powers to make things, because it's the experiment gone wrong, basically.
Is there 3D printer or is it
so-
more like pulling materials from a plane?
Pulling materials from the Never Never,
Never
pulling
Never?
magic from the
Oh.
Never Never. That's why we all have an ability to manipulate metal, but each one of us had something in addition to it, like fire, water, earth, air.
Some poor
Go
series,
planet.
of half elves that's just running materials back and forth for your asses. Just stuck in
So we were,
contract. Just
right when that sucked.
It's like the kobold
so-
no one talks about that actually cleans the Tomb of Terror after everyone dies. It's like, all right, we got to reset all the traps.
Yep.
Fuck, I hate doing this by myself.
So like a bunch of us, once we were in the Never Never, died through horrible conditions, and this Munson guy was using the bodies, experimenting on them to keep that connection to each individual had to different types of elements open. So that's how we had fresh water the whole time, because he secretly was tapping into the water that was coming from the people that were gifted with that ability to manipulate.
gifted.
So that's
A
what
fountain.
the fountain's about.
Don't worry about it.
It's
You got
just
one now.
pulling-
You got a mountain. It's added to the HQ. You
pulling
got a
that-
fountain.
Great.
Stardrew, Doomsday
Body
Clock,
water.
I hate it. You have no idea, Stardrew.
Oh my God.
idea.
I'm sorry, did you say body water? Is this like the ETHUANTIA brand of robot water?
Robot water?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Non-addictive. Technically not a water.
I didn't say that. It was not me.
Primal water.
I didn't.
Technically, 70%
That's why
water.
we all have these little devices on us, the survivors. They have this.
Yeah. The clock piece,
ways
or not
to
clock, here?
manipulate our.
No,
Well,
iris,
I
like
described-
a cleanse iris, right?
One of the Mancers that survived helped make these devices for us. They're called gate attenuators for kineticists. Yeah, they're sort of rushed magical items that we all use to help. I framed it as us controlling our power. So like I described mine as like the He-Man harness with like this iris thing in the middle with
Yeah.
a stopwatch or not pocket watch rigged into it and everything. And yeah, it's I got so
Neat.
much more with Burke.
Oh, don't worry.
over.
Don't
Hasn't
worry.
been
Second
even
season is
hinted.
ready.
I tried to
Oh,
bring up a
man.
few things during the course of events over the season, but every time like somebody else said something, I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this. We were just getting hit with dilemma after dilemma, a crisis. So I was like, well,
Look.
if we ever sit down and just talk in our place, like it's never gonna happen. But
Look.
then we can bring it up.
Look. There's always a beginning of season 2. So that's not totally true. You have mentioned things during the show, and I did bring them into existence. I did mention all the people because in the room of the darkest house, you kept saying, "Where are they?" No one knows because one, the curator doesn't leave that room. Two, only one person went into the room where they were, which was Georgia, and she saved Wilcuff. But she did explain who those people were to you, and you're like, "Fuck," because that was your entire group.
But if Wilcuff got out, even though he didn't get out, Burke's kind of thinking maybe
Should-
and especially now the house is corrupted. Like even the things that are made to be there are getting out. All his people have to be out. By
Yeah,
now
almost
somewhere.
like the darkest house's power is being tapped.
Well, now it's gone. Hopefully.
No. It's fucked up,
pieces.
but it's
fucked
not
up.
gone.
Bought some time.
You bought some,
Maybe.
you blew some shit up. They definitely ain't coming through the way you went out. I have other questions. Did any of the cast have questions that didn't get answered during the season for them?
I sure did.
She's like, "Oh, I'm in it. Am I dead?"
I
No, Allie, your character's not
I
dead.
know you just posted something about this earlier, but how do
I
you
also
pronounce the
asked
name
you
of-
last week. Oh, I'm sorry, Drew. What are you asking?
I was gonna say, like, I know you posted something about it earlier, but how do you actually pronounce the lodge's name? Like, how do you say it?
Oh, how is it actually pronounced? So, oh my God, I wrote it out. So basically, I did a Romanian name generator, and I wanted like Romanian style and sounding names, but I didn't realize what I generated when I did that one. So I think it's Tarvany, I think is how it's pronounced, or Tarnavany. Hold on, listen. Tarvanani.
Arvanani. Okay.
That's how it's pronounced.
Tarvanavy Lodge.
Yeah. Let me see it again.
What does it translate to?
Yeah, that was my next question.
Tarvanani.
Yeah, Tarnavin
Tarvanani.
Outpost is what I had.
Yeah, Tarvanani. That is how, with the Romanian accent, which I obviously do. not. Tarvanani. And for those who don't know, I'll put it in announcements in case you miss it. I'll drop it in chat here. This long ass link is the way you pronounce it. But I did it because I just wanted all this area to kind of have that style. I moved some vowels around and changed things. But this one, I was like, oh, that's a really cool looking word. I like how it looks. When I said it out loud, I was happy with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I heard how it was. I was like, fuck, that's difficult.
So what does it
Tarvanani.
translate to?
There's no description for it
Oh, okay.
that I have found. It's just pronouncing it in Romanian.
I didn't know if you had one like Moldavian, like what it translates to.
No, there's nothing like that. There's like if I click through, it's just a name pronunciation. I just did it because of this region. It was a good pronunciation for this region. I think I'm the only thumbs up on the fucking video. It's from 9 years ago. Has no description for what it is. I thought it meant lodge and home, if I remember correctly. Let me look. I mean, look. It's in Wikipedia. It is a historically, what is this? There's a city named that. Has to do something with the Neolithic period settlement. I don't.
You look up the word itself on Wiktionary. There's an audio translation, and it sounds like Turnavent.
Yeah, Turnavent is I was seeing. It was a city for a long time.
I was hoping to find the translation.
In Transylvania.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. I don't know. I just looked for cool
lies on
Romanian
the
locations.
Tamava River in central Transylvania.
Well, I didn't know that. But it's dope as shit, and that's perfect. It is kind of centered in Moldavia. So that's where it came from. Nothing other than that, but good question, Drew, even though you're gonna make me pronounce it because you're like, I want to hear if Frankhouse could even pronounce this. And no, I can't. I broke my own cardinal rule. If I can't say it, don't use it. Turvananian. Allie, you said you had questions. What are yours? You got anything
I
for me?
do.
Oh boy.
So the first one is, was that actually Claybell? Or are we allowed to know yet? I don't know. Like
the one you saw? Yes, that is her.
Okay.
It is her. She's just not herself anymore.
Okay. The other question I had was how many of those superstitions that like came to fruition, like how many of those ended up being like not actually real, like they're superstitions, but they don't lie in truth?
Oh, if you go into the table, I marked them all. Every single one of them that is real is marked. Here, I will
in the superstitions rules,
let me turn off the
cool.
And I have a few that I probably have to add since we played last. I just kind of go through once a month and add them in because I can flip through the previous pages. But here, let me pull it up for the audience too. Where are they at? Superstitions. And I tried to put the names, but there's a few where I did not get the names. I just didn't have the person who said it. But yeah, they're all marked. And if they're a C, they're completed. Or no, X. If they're, if they're a C, they're completed. If they are an X, they still need one more use.
Okay. And all of these are, in fact, like, real, because I remember you mentioned at one point you were like, well, not all superstitions actually are real, even if we think they are.
Those are the ones that are not completed.
Okay, gotcha. Cool,
but the more they're used, the more real they become to where like there may be cities that say them.
Ooh. Hell yeah.
That's what that percentile roll is that you say next time. It means that somebody else is thinking along the same line and they also say that superstition. There are a few in the background that are pushed over into like there are some local communities that use it because they've heard you say it before, like in a daily, time, like around them. But yeah, no, there are a few. I have a list of 50 in here that I have for the show that we didn't even touch because therefore when you go to cities, but the way our campaign went, we didn't go to cities yet. Damn. The only time we've been in cities is with Living ETHUANTIA. And they went to the main city and they met one of the other mayors, which Serving Hand's character is like, I want to be best friends with this person. I think Todd was there for that one with his character. When you guys went back to the main city in Moldavia, the eldest sister up in the clock tower, in the lighthouse.
Sounds familiar.
He's like, maybe I don't remember. But
every episode is flushed from my memory as soon as we stop broadcasting, and then I have to rewatch to.
I meant Living ETHUANTIA. In Living ETHUANTIA, with your other characters.
Living ETHUANTIA is even worse. I don't have a record besides what is written in my notes here somewhere.
True. So, but anyway, yeah, that's what it was.
I'm just dropping everything.
Drew, is that how you envisioned your friend? Is that a pretty good representation of the art I found?
Yeah, it's better. Like
Okay.
I had a vague idea, but like that coat. This actually, like, if it wasn't the swords,
The sword and dagger.
like it's sword and dagger, but like without the swords, like this actually reminds me of Malik with that coat.
A little bit, but
if he had
there's
a 6-shooter.
but there's a reason he's wearing the coat, and there's a reason it's red.
Oh, good.
I'll show the audience.
It's his favorite color.
I mean, well, it's gonna get hung in the house somewhere, right? No,
I don't know.
no, you don't want to hang that in the house.
I mean, as soon as he sees it, like,
Well, it's not going to be during this episode, but I will. I'll show the
Yeah.
audience. I feel like they should see the art for it. I
no, as
contacted
soon as
this
he
artist
sees it,
to see
he's
if I
gonna
could
be
get
like-
more from them because I think it's really cool.
yeah, as soon as he sees it, he's gonna be like, I need to take a couple of days,
Off
And go.
just take days off.
check something, because like the last time he knew, he was not. Like last time he knew, he was out here. Like he hasn't heard of him being in the house at all or anything.
Well, it's not like people come back from the house and be like, "Yo, let me tell you about this trippy LSD time I had." No, people
Yeah,
don't
it's
leave the house and talk about the house. They leave the house and go, "We're not fucking talking about this."
Right.
Like it's bad. Oh wait, I don't have to do this. I'm looking him up. I can just fucking click it. There we go, audience. There you go. You can see him now. Whether I take the merch off the screen, you can. I chopped his head off a little bit. Damn. I wanted to do that. Maybe if I do this? Nah, no. Unfortunately, it chops his head. I'll have to redo it so it pushes it down a little bit more. I'll give him a little more headspace. But he looks good. I was happy with
Yeah.
it. The coat's perfect for kind of the Victorian time frame I want. Do you know what the coat reminds me of? It reminds me of the guy who made, or the company who makes our hoodies. Those really cool big ass hoodies we have. And I think Kelly has a red and black one. I have a black
oh,
one.
yeah.
Volante.
Volante. That
Yeah.
looks like a Volante coat.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Yeah.
That's like a rip-off of a Volante coat. But yeah. Hey, LSD ain't bad. I mean, look. Did you watch Fringe? I did watch Fringe. It was a fantastic show. Anybody else got any questions? I have one more. Does the audience have any questions from the season for those that are here? Anything I can answer? I mean, most of the ones that are in here are regulars, so I'll be happy to answer questions if there's any from the audience. Kelly, Todd, you got anything? Did I miss anything during the show where you had questions? Like, what the fuck?
No, I'm just here for the ride.
Kelly's like, nah, I figured it all out. Episode 1.
No.
Eh.
No.
Does anyone have I have a couple, but my other question would be, does anyone have a inkling to what the next cryptid is? Because I have dropped it a few times. And it's not Dracoff. Because right now, so I have these, right? These are empties. But I have this one has the Galafel and the wolves, right, in the beginning. And this one has the cryptid is a Galafel, which is Johan. It has Mathala, which is our Mothman style. The Huntress of Vorg, which we didn't get to use at all. And then Drathok was on here to fill for the season. Because he could have started earlier in the season. Because there could have been someone who came looking for Georgia earlier in the season. But I have another one on one of these that I'm not going to say anything about. That we are half full, and then I think tonight with cryptozoologists, we have 2 more fills on it. So that's 4, which will fill it for the start of next season.
Loveland Frogman.
No.
Jersey Devil.
No.
Is it the Hodag, Eric?
No, I almost did. I almost contacted Kelly and Todd, be like, what if? Just hear me out. What if we use a Hodag? Like, I really almost did. For those who don't know, Hodag's like a local cryptid in Wisconsin. And there's a huge statue of one. All over Moldavia. How would you even, like, there's not even a good description of what a Hodag really does. It's just like a lizard, ugly, human-faced creature. It's just fucking...
It's like a snub-nosed, dog-faced scaly lizard thing with like a single horn, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad taxidermy
Oh,
is what it fucking
Right.
is.
Oh shit! Is it the chupacabra?
It is Wisconsin's chupacabra.
No,
All
I meant
over
the next
Wisconsin.
one coming out.
No, it is not the chupacabra.
Wampus beast.
No. All right, no one knows. That's cool.
Flatwoods monster.
I gave clues. You're just guessing.
Yeah.
No.
Burger Flickle.
Yeah.
Nope, that's all right.
I did have a question, Eric. In the handouts, you made one for the keepers. Are
Did?
these all of them?
No.
I didn't think so, because there's one on here that's missing that I was trying to remember the name of.
There are roughly 20 that are missing.
Okay.
That is the primary ones that most people would know about if they were to get a 10 or a 15 on a knowledge. To recall knowledge. It's the basic concept of them. But the really rare ones aren't on there. And I did put some in there that are higher, but they're because I know my players know them and I wanted them to have the names there in case we needed them during the show at all.
Got it.
But there are some that aren't on there. You're 100% right. 100% right.
Yeah, because the one that I'm...
Like Storm Strider's
Wait a
not on
second.
there.
Yeah, I was looking for the Keeper of Secrets,
That would be a secret.
Mm-hmm.
right? But then I see Shadow Karm as the Keeper of Night, and I thought that was the name of it.
I can tell you it's deliberate. Silverhand said, did you guys have fun? I had fun. I was super excited to be back in ETHUANTIA. I think Allie was happy to be starting, right? Is that correct? A character that wasn't in the middle of a campaign?
Yeah.
Here, learn this level 11 character.
Yeah.
Learn. And then she even's like, I want to play something different. I was like, that's on you, girl.
I will say, Allie, you killed that character for coming in mid-season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That
yeah.
dandy class, Jesus Christ.
Yo.
The word you're looking for
yeah.
is Baroque.
Broken, yeah.
Yeah.
Baroque.
Did it,
I feel like so when I was like making that character, I was obviously like I spoke with Eric and I was like, okay, so like what dynamic, so to speak, like is like, because of course you guys were a player down, so I was like, okay, what was the function of that character? And you know, not being as familiar, like I watched a good amount of like season 1, but it was still like, you know, through the lens of viewer as opposed to like
yeah,
the
what's
mechanic
going
side
on
of things.
behind the screen? Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I was like, okay, going into like charisma based, and which ties in well with that and was what I would want to play anyways. But that's the reason I took Dandy, was I was like, oh, okay, well,
It
yeah.
looks like your camera's trying to flip you, like it's angry that your camera is the wrong way, because it looks like it like flips it and then re-rolls it. It's so weird.
It's doing something weird right now.
I think it's
I may
your
have like hit
port.
some wires.
It's your port. It's your port. It's all right.
It
Doesn't
probably is. It'll
It
be
adds
fixed
to
by
the
next
mystery.
Da-da-da.
Did anyone think they were gonna die? Like, was there any scenes
Many times.
where you're like, "This is it. This is it. I'm dead."
Anytime we entered the house, because it was like
Oh.
the rules don't apply. It's
Yeah.
something like completely different. So that was always sketchy every time we went into the house.
Doesn't it sound weird?
And again, no.
But rules applied more in the darkest house than they do when you're out of it.
Ooh.
I have more things that I have to follow to make the darkest house work than I do outside of it, because the darkest house grows like a role-playing board game. And if I don't follow the rules, the growth doesn't work. That's why I've never taken you to a room you haven't been in or been near, because it just breaks it if you don't follow the formula. Granted, they lay the formula out like 1 + 1. Like, we all know 1 + 1 is 2. Like, we know. But if you break it, you're doing 1 + 5, like it's 2. You're like, but I'm not at 2, I'm at 10. So I had to follow it. So surprisingly, I changed nothing in the darkest house. I didn't make anything up. The only time I used the room for like really special stuff was the one that Allie's character went in. And I just made the people that were supposed to be in there, I just swapped them with Todd's background characters from like his history. And the room we just did, that's different. Like the painting's not. I really leveled up the curator because she looks the part for what I needed for end of season. And I knew the curator was important from the beginning.
Yeah.
I was super afraid the first time we did the Darkest House for 8 hours because some people were really infatuated with how she looked that you were going to try to get her out with you. I was really worried.
Ooh.
I was like, fuck, if this happens, she would never go back. Like if she gets out, but she's out now and you know she's old, so that's gonna be entertaining. But yeah, no, I followed most of the rules, and then the room with Clara and Clem is in the game, but I tied it to Maria because they say if someone is motherly, tie it to it. But I didn't want to tie it to Georgia because I didn't want anyone to know that she had a kid. So they just looked to the first woman they saw. And that was Maria, so they went for Maria. But if they would have known Georgia and the doll would have had her memories, they would have figured out. Oh, by the way, I didn't even tell Diana that her character was a doll that chick was carrying. So
All I can think is Nadia, like Nadia doll.
yes, Nadia doll.
Oh, yeah.
You broke my fucking legs. I fucking love that show.
She is the MVP of that show. God.
Oh, I don't know, man. You say that, and then
Season 1 MVP of that show,
and
hands
then fucking the energy vampire has an episode. You're like, fuck.
Oh my god.
No, they're
Oh my
all good,
God.
but like, I was on a podcast where we just covered season 1, and I was like, I think 7 out of 10, Nadia was my MVP every episode.
I don't know how they do another
So
season.
fucking funny.
Totally off topic. I don't know how they do another one. It is went off the deep end. If anyone saw the Pride Parade, that episode was like the apex of like everything they could do.
I don't think I've seen. I don't think I've finished the most recent season,
Oh god.
but I'm there.
Surrey asked, "Do we get a goat emote?" You know what? I didn't think about that, to be honest. But I'm not
The
opposed to it.
Twerking Johan.
But is it a goat emote or is it a goat emote? Goat emote of Johan.
We have
See if Johan gets
bikini-
saved.
Bikini worm. We have the dumpling. Now we're gonna have a goat twerking.
A goat twerking, yep. Yep. The twins were the best. I mean, the twins were great. I enjoyed having them on. They're very entertaining. I love that Adam came back and got murdered right away. Like just accident, because this game has not seemed deadly to anybody, right? Like everyone's like, we survive, and Adam's like, boom, dead, out. I was like, I'm not pulling punches, like I'm rolling dice. The audience rolls dice, like I'm not hiding anything. And I did crit, like we had a good couple crits, but I was never pulling punches. And Adam got murdered.
Eric's, I won't get it too into it, but like sometimes behind the scenes, Eric's like, Pathfinder seems like you just spend a hero point and you're fine. Like no one ever gets really seriously injured. Then Adam's like, bam, dead.
Well, I told Adam,
Eliminated.
no hero points.
Two different characters.
I said you get no hero points. You have to make a superstition. It's the only way you can have one. No patches, no nothing. You're an NPC. I go, they're on the table. You can look at them. He's like, nah. And he died. And that was supposed to be a big boss battle. Like, the environment was deadly. The creature was deadly. Yeah, there was a... You're right. I think, I don't know if Maria was near death. I know I fucked her up a couple times. I don't think she ever got, like, Nora near death. When Nora got hit by those mummies, like, opening one, and the whole party went, we're gonna die. In season, what was that? Season 2, campaign 1?
Down under the tree.
Episode 2, yeah.
Yeah, and they got fucking punched. She's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And the whole party's like, we're fucked. If she got out, we're fucked. And Everson's like, I got it. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom.
Have a 2x4.
He was the entire second half of Team Think Tank. You know,
It's true.
the tank. They were the thinkers.
I wish Andrew got the hand back from Adam before I know. Didn't happen. I told Adam there's a way for that character to come back. There's a way for the crow to come back. And he's like, really? I was like, yes. Look who sent you. He's like, I don't understand. I'm like, yeah, I'll explain it. And I ran through. He's like, oh, but I have another character idea already.
Yeah.
So
I did not have a backup character planned, by the way. I didn't. I figured
None?
I'd come up with one if I needed to.
all right.
No.
All right.
I usually like when I get a concept, I want to see that concept through. And then, like, if I don't have it again, or if it dies, it's like, okay, what am I going to do now?
I have a couple of
ETHUANTIA
NPCs.
really helps create a character for you, because it's just we've got like a really rich like world, and it's like it just kind of helps immediately. Like, well, this is what the game system can allow for like class or ancestry or whatever, but it's like, here's how ETHUANTIA helps shape that. It's like it really informs how you end up making a character.
I don't think a lot of people know how much history there is for ETHUANTIA. Like, some people have seen the doc, but not everybody. And even the players haven't seen all the doc. Like, Drew's got a couple of odd docs that other people don't have because he was running it at home for a while. But I mean, written as of today, with PF2, with most of the 5e stuff cut out, it's like 140 to 150 pages.
I will say this. If we were playing in like a main town inside the theocracy, not Moldavia, the next character I want to play is a Crimson Vial. Alchemist.
Oh, from the Order, the Crimson Order?
Yeah.
I got rules for blood magic. I got rules for blood magic, buddy. I do. They're real good. They're real good. But he didn't get the hand. I tried. Yeah. That or Drew is going to be full servant of Darkane. Look, he doesn't know he's part of... You're just guessing it's Darkane. I mean, it could be anybody.
It's... Yeah. Okay.
Look.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know the best part? It's Merrifield literally brought it with them. All of the main nightmares and the intellect devourers and all that kind of stuff that had been destroyed and burned, like properly, like trying to get things. I made a couple of rolls privately. They're written down, and some things made it out because he wants to continue what he's doing. Now he is weak into a state of like first contact, and unfortunately, only a few people got first contact. And he's a fucking I mean, he's a nightmare keeper. Like, he's just gonna fuck with you and get what he wants out of it until you find a way to
Living the dream.
Get rid of it. There is a way, by the way, everyone. There is a way to like renounce a keeper, because you know you can renounce anything. Like, I don't want to follow this deity anymore in 5e, Pathfinder 2, whatever. And you can pick a new deity to worship. It's possible, but you got to understand what the fuck you're following to renounce it.
Exactly. Which he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So until he knows what he's following, he can't do it. So in between this and the next season, I have some notes that I'm going to type up to the party and let them do some stuff coming up, because I mean, obviously the kid's going to have to get bandaged, strapped to a bed, and fixed if she can survive, which will be off screen. I will talk to the party about that. And then we'll have some downtime again, and we'll go into the next thing for campaign 2, which I'm pretty excited for, because I have 2 campaigns planned for this, 2 seasons planned. But now that the Darkest House just got bombed, that fucking changes a lot of season 2. But Burke will know more about that, and you should all be very fucking scared. Ever wonder what happens when people get unlimited access to untethered plane of existence?
Become dicks.
They become dicks. No, that's not what I was going to say. Any other questions from the audience? Any other ones from the audience? I have one more for the players. Yeah. Well, this is a good one. And this is probably, Allie might be able to answer, but I know the other 3 will. Has there ever been a piece of lore that you wanted to have be a class, background, anything mechanically in the game that I have not made yet?
Ooh.
What? Like, you heard about it and you went, oh, I want that.
I mean...
Because I did that once. I made a war lantern. This is the first time anyone's fucking carried one.
Oh, wow.
It's not true. This is my second character to have one. I've only played that character once, though, was the other one.
I mean, there have been with Dracoth and the Moth cryptid in particular. I've been like, how do I get in with them? Like, what?
So
would it
cryptids
look like
are
to be
worshipped.
tied...
They are they're basically like a small sect of keepers. They are localized keepers. Like they have a follower and like a devoted follower, and then they have people outside of that, like that are like, yay, hail and praise, but they get no powers from it. They just carry out the word, hoping to. Yeah, that's a thing.
Ellie wants to be Mothman's Renfield.
What do you think the Circle of Pine do out here? I mean, they're basically followers and where's Dracoff?
Every town has an Elm Street.
Every town does have an Elm Street. Todd did say that like season 1.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true. It's true.
I
made, just so you know, Darkane been around for a long time, but he looks like he does now because Todd's a fan of the old Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And I was like, we're doing it. That's just what's happening.
Dream Warriors, fuck yeah.
We're doing it. And Todd's like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, nah, I don't know if I really want this.
I can't remember what his name was. Was it Maris? Do you remember I want to say it was PF1. I played an exorcist, and it was the Order of the Chain. Dude carried around like an enchanted chain and was like just pulling evil spirits out of people.
So that would be true. Cool. The enchanted chain, I don't know if I ever told you what it was. It was a prisoner's chain for someone who died, and they'd used that prisoner's chain for like decades. And people would die in that chain, and that's where they get them from. They pull them out of prisons, they salt them, and they use them to bind spirits and demons to pull them out of bodies. They basically wrap them in it. It's just the idea of like rosary beads.
Yeah.
Also, I just watched The New Exorcist. What a pile of garbage. Just want to point that out. I was so excited because it was 2 kids that were fucking possessed, and I'm like, I'm in. Let's go. And I saw it, and I was like,
yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Believer. That's what it was called. It wasn't great.
First season of the TV series was good.
The first season TV series.
Second season was all right. Or third one, whatever they got to. But the first one was solid.
The first one was.
I didn't have a chance to see it. There's an escape room place called Escape Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, and they had an exorcist room because like they did it as a like a collab with the first season coming out. It was fun.
I have some fun stuff. We got to like an area where like I wanted to see some of the wild and have people do some travel stuff in this. But fettering and spirits are such a huge part of ETHUANTIA. I just feel like we did a lot of that in the first season, but don't worry, it's all coming back. Because I mean, now you guys are gonna be back at the lodge or at the outpost. I keep saying lodge, at the outpost. And there'll be a lot more like some of the small communities. There's a bunch of communities around this area that are, you know, like 10, 15 houses that live in an area, 20, and what would have been ghost towns down the mountains, down the Three Sisters and into Ingrad, like in between here and Cadra on the far east coast. These are like their ghost towns out here, but they're in the lower parts of the plateaus. They're set up high enough to be safe out of the fog. But we haven't visited any of those, but there are a ton of them. And your player characters would know about them because you hunt out here. Like the things you find, you trade and do all that stuff. So we're going to be hitting a bunch of really fun, small
Rander's got a girlfriend in one.
I almost pulled that for this one. And I was like,
really?
No. Second season. And I think Todd and Kelly definitely know this, but I don't usually... If you give me a bunch of NPCs that are like in your background, I don't just murder them all. I usually do something good with them. Sometimes they're like NPCs that help you out. Sometimes they're around. I don't just murder them all. I don't kill everybody and capture everybody. That's not normally how it goes. But when Allie gave me a kid that was part of the Circle of Pine, like I was like, I know how to tie this all together. First off, Diana said a kid? Really? No, I'm kidding. She did say that. Any other audience ones? Yes, Exorcist was garbage. The Fire Moth is good at battling cold tear snowstorms. I think, Drew, the first shocker for the season was you didn't know ether storms were a thing.
No, I didn't.
We watched some of the episodes coming through, like getting questions together. When I said ether storm, you're like, I'm sorry. What is this? What I didn't talk about is there is a community in the area that carves the ice up and puts them in containers and seals them and lets the ice melt with the spirit in them.
Mm.
and they use them as like communion. They like drink them and use the spirits, and they let their bodies be the vessel the spirits talk through.
Oh my god.
It doesn't always go well,
No shit.
Yeah.
but sometimes it's great. I was like, God, I want to use this for like a quest giver at some point, like someone who's a spirit speaking through the body, and someone like wanders all the way through. He like opens it and chugs it in the fucking front of the outpost.
Orlando, is there an Orlando here? I'm here. He's here.
What was that guy's fucking name? John Edwards? Was that the big psychic who used to do the TV show?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
so.
I was
man.
I was doing Whoopi Goldberg from Ghost.
Right. I always think of John Edwards where he's like, is anyone here Tiffany? Tiffany. It's like, put
Yeah,
your hand to your
you could
head.
get a-
Are you just covering
you
the
could get
mic
a-
with the thumb? What's going on, homie?
You could get a personalized reading from him. It took a year to book in advance, and you had to pay $5,000. Someone pointed out, it's like,
That's
so
a
if you're
background
paying a
check.
guy who has a whole team to do $5,000 to do an entire year's worth of background checks. Like, yeah, he's
Motherfucker.
gonna come up with some stuff that's personal for you. Sure.
Look, good on you, John Edwards. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You really got some people. You're the best magician ever. And I'm not saying things are real or not real. We know he's fake. That's why it's hilarious. But so fucking good. Anybody else have anything that they want in ETHUANTIA that we haven't made? And you all know behind the screen why I'm asking this. Because you know what's possibly going to be happening. So this is why I'm asking. This is your chance.
I want more talismans.
You know what? You would think that would be something that someone... I looked through Infinite trying to find a talisman book. I
Yeah,
haven't found
there's,
one
like,
yet.
Basically none. It's ridiculous.
Probably because they lose 50% of the sales, so they just didn't make it.
Well,
Maybe Todd knows one. Todd, have you seen any extra talismans anywhere besides like the treasure book? I don't think so.
I haven't really been looking for it.
It's such a cool... It's basically potions.
You know,
Yeah, I mean, we could probably just make some.
Ulus, you could expand into Ulus. Those are similar to talismans. They use the same.
yeah.
mechanic.
Oh, those are included like in the talisman lists that I have.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Do you have Talisman
Yeah,
Dabbler?
yes.
Did you end up taking that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you would think they would have had something cool for it, but...
So like my spreadsheet is like super small, but I will say
You should just
the,
sit down
the
and
info-
make a bunch of them based on levels and go, are these okay? And I would
will
probably go,
do that.
yes,
That
yes,
is my
yes.
homework.
Yes, no, you can't
That
have
is
lightning bolt at first level. Go
perfect.
fuck yourself.
There's a.
That will, you know what? When I'm driving
Don't.
out there, when it's not like my turn to drive, I will just.
You're just
be
going to
sitting
call
there
me and
with
be
a
like, I have a
notebook.
long drive. It's time to talk talismans, Frankhouse.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm game. Let's go.
I mean, we just record it, and I will use some speech to text, and we can get all the stuff on it that we want. We'll do an audio podcast while you're driving using the phone.
God.
No, you would be so upset with that mic quality. You
That's
couldn't
not
put
true.
that out
Do you
there.
not have a headset?
Really? No.
You don't have a
It
headset?
goes. Mine is Bluetooth through my car.
Oh no, fuck that. That's garbage.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit is so. That's what you answer when you want to hang up. You're like, sorry, it's my car audio. Like, I'll talk to you when you get home. Go fuck yourself. I didn't see any other ones. Remember who the psychic? Pete Psychic? No, I do not.
Pet psychic.
Pet Psychic. I remember Pet Psychic.
Oh, Pet Psychic. Sorry, that stupid heart's in the way. The Barrocks need to go to some family counseling. Look, I think the only people who need family counseling is Allie's character and the daughter. So
You are not the mother.
Our sister.
So I thought what would be really cool, and I was talking to Lissa in town, which I know Kelly knows who that is, but she does a bunch of cosplay stuff, and I might talk to Monica. I think it'd be really dope. Have you seen the guy on TikTok selling the huge, like, full-on cloaks? Like, him and his wife turned over from what they were doing, and they are just making real cloaks full-time, like full-on cloaks. They're fucking dope. They're really nice. I wanted her to make us tiger moth cloaks.
Yo.
So we have the fur in different spots. So we have a matching
that'd be
set
dope.
for conventions.
I'm gonna be real with you. I have a shit ton of faux fur because I used to cosplay. So
I want
have,
something
like, stuff for
very
my
specific.
Lulu.
But I need somebody who can make the moth symbols and a brooch. So I want like a metal brooch.
Oh yeah.
Where we can just cast each one of your moths and put it on the brooch. Because when you have their cloaks are made for like real full on, like brooch goes through to hold it. So you can shoulder, full hold, whatever. Just so we're cons when you're like, oh, we're wearing our memorabilia from our show.
It's August. Let's put on a hot cloak.
Well, yeah, like
First off, you
Just
said
let me
Gen
know.
Con. I was thinking Game Hole and like those winter
okay.
conventions.
Yeah.
Gary Con
November, March.
Gary Con was cold this year. It was like fucking snow sleeting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But-
just let me know who to send the fur to because I want it out of my house.
I'll ask him. I was gonna ask Monica. She's just buried right now because she works for Gloomhaven now. But anyway, that's a thought I thought about. If I could ever make thing, it would be the brooch for sure. Because I feel like everyone has that brooch for their little moth.
So it would probably be pretty easy to
Just get metal casted, or I'd get them 3D printed and put on it.
I was gonna say get the blanks 3D cast, and
Yeah.
then it would be super easy to then make a like silicone mold.
I'm just gonna. I want to find someone who makes the nice metal ones, and then do. I don't need silicone molds. No. I would just send them the 3D rendered files I have of the moths.
Just be like boom.
Be like print these and then cast them in acrylic and put them on the brooch. But like that's just like fucking far future thinking. There is a new dice set coming. I haven't talked about that publicly. I just am in the beginning of talking about it because I wanted to wait for the season because I want to make Tiger Moth dice. Nice. Some inclusions, we'll see. Someone sent me potion dice on Instagram. That was something else I was looking at to be kind of cool. The last question I have for the show. Unless any audience members or cast members give me anything, I have one more. So does anyone else have anything before I go to our final kind of closing question before we close it out? Anybody here?
Not
None of
right
the
now,
cast.
No.
All right, I will do this, and then if I get one from the audience, if I missed it, please put it back in. If you had to change a class for your character now that you've been playing, would you do it? Is there a class you'd rather be than what you are? As I have that happen to me as a player a lot. Same character. Do you think a different class would have been a better choice? Because I have that happen to me all the time. Because my ass always goes to wizard, like immediately. Then I'm like, this is not. I should have been a warlock or something. Like, does anyone ever have that?
I disagree. PF2 wizards are fucking dope.
They are, but they're not always the solution.
No, it's true. I have felt very underpowered a lot of this campaign.
Traps suck.
And when I got, well, I mean, it wasn't even that. Like, because I mean, that's the concept that I wanted to do, but like that I was fine with. But the until I got like a magical weapon, like the shit that we were, because like
Changed
he's
the
just
game.
been he's just been hunting, so he hasn't needed one.
Yeah.
So like, he got thrown into a world where he wasn't prepared for it, and so
yeah, but that's part of the growth process, though.
Well, yeah, no, it is, but like needing that out of the gate, like everybody else had options for that, like
solution.
spells or but he didn't. So I don't know that I would have changed it, but I think I would have fixed that problem earlier.
I will say that every monster that you've all encountered up until probably the moth, or the moth was the big one. The moth and some of the moth creature things and the Galafels. They all, just so you know, had whatever weakness they have was in the area somewhere.
Ooh.
I had put things in the area that you could have used once, like Maria learned what the weakness was, or someone made that roll. I put things specifically there so you could pick them and get them and look for them. No one did, and I wasn't going to tell players to do that because Maria's like, "Why the fuck do I need to do that? Whip, do your job." And Bert can make magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was trying to tell people this is
You
what
did.
they're weak
This is the
to.
weakness, but no one looked afterwards. And I can't describe everything. Like when you enter a tent, if I tell you everything in that tent, that is going to be 15 minutes of our fucking show. But if you ask, I will tell you if things are in there. I do have lists of items. So I don't know if you guys see how I write my this big ass book. Maybe I'll do a little show on that afterwards, like I'm setting up. But I have margins at the top and down the bottom, and I do a 2-page spread. And the margins are like the extra things that people can ask for that are in the episode or in the area somewhere. And then I have one sheet of them as well that's just kind of on the side all the time. I pull it out. I set down, actually my mouse sits on it. But it's there so I can write on it, and it has the DCs. But there are always things you can look for, because I said that this game was going to be a monster hunting game where you're going to be dealing with creatures, and there will be weaknesses, and they're not always going to be silver and things like that. They're going to be ETHUANTIA style things. And I always, we talked about this, I always go back to Shadow Chasers with flaming toilet paper for fucking skeletons. But those are the things that, like, they all have individual weaknesses, like The Witcher, because it's based on the story. So there's always something, and maybe I missed some stuff too to mention, but you can always ask. I promise somewhere a couple actions worth of travel, there's usually something near. For example, the Galafel that you fought, the people on the racks had stuff on them. The one guy that was yelling at you to be freed was trying to tell you, I can help. But you guys left his ass out there.
Oh.
I was like, oh well, shit happens, like they're in it thick. And then the big mouth creature I thought was going to be a really big fight, and you guys just fucking butchered that guy. The like big tall golem with the fucking chest that opens up. I was like, I'm so excited for this. You guys are like,
the one that showed up when our sister was there, you mean?
Yeah, you critted it. And I was like, the monk was more of a challenge, and he was supposed to be less of a challenge than that thing was. I was really looking forward to his fight. Yeah. It happens. Every time was a death trap.
I wouldn't say I would change Burst's class, because the powers in the class are what informed his development, his background. So he's pretty much locked into.
You kind of Cypher system this character. You definitely change like what they make and how they look. Like, I don't know if the class is that way, but it has that redressed feel to the class to me when you're playing them. Like Cypher system, it was like, you have Onslaught. You're like, what's that? Like, well, fucking make it up.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of what you've done with this.
The blast, the elemental blast that the kineticist has, it says just you produce your element, you style it however you want. And I figured, well, Burke's powers come from this like experiment gone wrong where they were supposed to be manufacturing weapons and gear. So it's like, that's what he makes. He makes weaponry out of this. And there's a feat for that, for the kineticist. Like, you create a weapon out of your element. So that informed his background as well.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I have nothing else for tonight. I wanted to keep it sweet because I know we're only going to be off for a little while. And we're not going to be fully off. I have something that I'm kind of cooking up that I want to run. And I don't know if it's going to be with one other person or if it's going to be with a group of people. But there's something I have cooking in the background, which I'll talk to the crew about. We have an extra week this month, if I remember correctly. But we're cutting that week out because Allie's moving. Drew, if I remember correctly, you're going to be at like a convention or something doing work, right? Or no, at the theater. You're at the theater doing work.
I'm gonna be at University of California, Irvine, helping set up their Shakespeare thing again. And then end of May, I'm gonna be in North Carolina for like 10 days.
Yeah. So you'll be back for the second week of June, though. Or second week of June. For the start of the season.
The build is going into June. I need to double check the dates, but yeah, I should be here for most of it.
Cool. Got it. Regder's dead.
Fair enough.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll work on my Crimson Order.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Let me know what's going on for that. Todd, you're traveling at the end of the month as well, right? So you're gone for a little bit. And Kelly and I still have Cyberpunk because...
Yep.
This will be the second time that I will be in a state that Drew is in, but just at the wrong time. Because I'll also be in North Carolina for a short while.
No, really?
Start of the month, not the end of the month.
So
I'm going to be there the 21st through the 29th for Memorial Day.
We are at
full pig barbecue.
Ooh, Jen's out of town that time frame. I'm going to do something for me during that. I don't know if I'm going to stream or cook. I might grill. Maybe I'll grill. I have something fun planned.
Several years ago, I was in California, like 100 miles out of Los Angeles. And I was like, hey, Drew, are you home? And he's like, I'm in Chicago. Like, oh, all right.
Like, oh, closer. Tracks. You were closer earlier. if I stayed
Well, it's
home.
funny because we were both roughly 100 miles away from where we
The
live.
other person-
We just kind of
yeah,
switched
whatever.
spots.
Oh
Fucking
my
hell.
god. Well, Allie be a new spot. She'll get all of her new shit set up. She'll have better gear stealing it from somebody else. And Kelly and I will be rocking Cyberpunk because that show is just absolutely just off the rail nuts. Like, I plan 3 things that show, and one of them happens, and everything else is just by the seat of our pants. If you missed yesterday's episode, we got a lot of the tech issues out of the way and shit fixed. It was fucking insane again yesterday. And next week's our death race.
Yep.
Motor Mayhem, Motor City Mayhem, because it takes place in Detroit, is next Monday, and everybody has a part in it. BB is going to be hacking ads to distract drivers. Machine Gun Kitty, MGK, yeah, that person, is shooting out the fucking as the navigator. I just love that they picked the worst navigator possible, but she's a goddamn good shot. She's kind of like Lucy from Edge Runners. And then Calvary is doing Robot Water. Matt's character String just made huge bets that Rev will win. Put all of his money on it. I've never seen Matt as a person more excited to get to place bets in a game. So that's happening, and so we'll pick up there, and then we'll be off for the first week, and our Cyberpunk show ends in June. We're only doing like 10 to 13 episodes for that as well. We just hit 8, so that'll be pretty fun. Then we hit convention season. I don't know what's going on with that, but I know a lot of us will be traveling and all that kind of shit. So I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, as of now, I'm working Gen Con again with Norse just so I can go.
I mean, sometimes mistakes are made. I might not go this year. We'll see.
So I'm working UCI till June 14th. So the 11th is going to be our first show back. So I should be able.
We'll figure it out off it. I will say though, I should go to Gen Con because last year's was a fucking clusterfuck. It was not good.
It's true.
Sure.
It's not good. It's not good. All right. Anybody else have anything to say? I just want to say thank you to the audience. This was a fucking great season. Share it with your friends. We're trying to get more people. Anyone who wants like a shorter stream series to watch, like 13 episodes is pretty short. Tell them to come watch our shit. I'll have some other content coming out that is not streaming here pretty soon on YouTube. And we'll be back with some more Borg Corpse Talk next month.
Or if they don't want to watch it, if they have no interest, just have them go hit that subscribe button.
Just hit the goddamn button.
Yeah. Hit the just hit the button. Spread that, just hit the button. They don't have to watch the show.
Stop being a
that's fine.
WotC lover and do your jet. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
Like, favorite, subscribe, whatever the things
Like,
are.
follow,
Ring that
subscribe.
bell.
That's what it is.
Ring that
And then play the videos while you're for your pets while you're gone, just so we get those views.
I do that anyways.
I have never said any of those 3 things in a row. I usually just do what I'm about to do now. Wait, bye, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Sons of bitches.
Ring that bell.
Bye. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for watching our season finale and our lovely little our lovely little wrap for the season. On this side over here, that's the thing they want you to click. That's that circle that's there. That's the one to get the 500 people. And the other one's gonna be a video to watch. It's probably Matt screaming the odds for gambling. That's my guess, because he says I don't know the odds, I just know how to play them. I'm guessing that'll be it. Thank you so much for joining. It's been another wonderful season on ETHUANTIA, and we got some really big, like seriously big changes and some fun stuff coming up for June. I just don't want to say anything yet until I've confirmed what's going on. No secret this day for ETHUANTIA because it's the end of the season, everybody. I just want to wave bye and have a great one, and we'll run our intro a little bit one more time. See you in June.